wanna believe it.
Yeah.
But I'm confident it's happened.
Maybe potentially that one time
Yeah.
at band camp.
Yeah.
Maybe that's when it happened. All right, let's shut this off over here. All right.
We good.
Oh, we're good?
We got Bastion up. We got Bastion.
Yeah, why does Bastion look like Archangel?
Shut your mouth. How about that? How about you shut your mouth? You shut your dirty whore mouth is what you should do. Look how cool Bastion looks. Look at his cum gutters.
Yeah, I see it.
Witness.
Is that like a 10-pack? Or is that 12? How many packs is that?
He's got abs, and then his wings have abs, and he has the V. Man, he's ready.
He's ready to go. Listen, I like a little dark.
I love whatever the artists that are doing this are my kind of kinky. You know what I mean? Like that one scene of Magneto just like just saying that.
Did I miss this? Did he shoot anything out of his chest? Because that little triangle in the middle right there of his chest seems like there should be something that can shoot out of that. Did that happen in the show and I missed it potentially? I am just now analyzing his suit. I didn't look at it before.
Let's see. Let's discover. Okay. 10
his wings
pack.
Look really sharp. His wings also look really, really sharp.
Yeah, like I feel like I don't know. Oh, I know. Is X-Men 97 finale is worth talking about.
Oh, it's definitely worth talking about. I will say this though, controversial statement. It definitely wasn't. It wasn't their best episode. To be fair,
that's not fair. 5 was their best episode.
Yeah, it wasn't their best episode. It wasn't terrible, but I also feel like to a certain extent that the finale was going to be. It was going to be hard for them to close this out with a bang per se. Does that make sense? I don't know.
It did what a season finale that already has season 2 ready should do.
Yeah.
Which is make us interested in season 2.
Yeah.
My only criticism of the series on a whole is, and we'll get to that a little bit later, we start talking about like articles and stuff we've come across. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do feel like they're speed running, and I don't know if that's the best thing to do. You know what I mean? Or if it's just what they happen to be doing.
Well, they sped through so many storylines in season 1. And the reason why I thought that they did that was because they were like, okay, much like a lot of other series, you don't know whether or not people will like it, so you try to get through as much as quickly as possible, just so that, just in case. It kind of felt like that, but then we found out like 2 episodes in that they already had season 2 ready to go. So I'm like, well, why did you rush through some of these storylines? I almost felt like these could have been fleshed out. Like, for instance, if they had done life, death, maybe it wouldn't have worked out that way, but no, it wouldn't have. Because I was going to say, if they did life, death in season 1 and then finish it up in season 2, that would have been better, but then it wouldn't have made sense.
This season, and this is going to be the first time I've ever said this about a Marvel anything, this season felt too short. This season felt too short. It, like, for what it was, it felt complete, but it felt like
it should have been like 14 episodes almost.
I think this cancer of like streaming platforms being like, you get 8 or 10 is getting a little silly.
Yep.
And I understand, like, I'm not ignorant to the fact that these things take time, cost money, and like I understand that. But also, if you're a $1 billion company, put out a $1 billion product. Like that's that's my criticism of most things, right? Like all the companies now that are coming out with subpar products, video games, movies, TV shows. It's like you got to $1 billion on quality and you're, instead of choosing to use that money to continue or improve quality, you're now cutting those fundings, and you're just trying to make more with less. Like it's the old 1920s logic of how to be profitable, like raise your margins or cut your costs. And it's like, well, we can't raise our margins, so let's cut our costs. And it's like, yeah, but the probability. I'm gonna just go into the episode.
Yeah, no, let's do it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, what are you doing? Just what are you doing? Plenty of even if you haven't seen it, if the fact that you've been able to avoid the 950 YouTube channels that just popped up to talk about it yesterday, that are definitely
TikToks, Twitter, everything.
Like power to you if you avoided it. So we had the seminal moment. We had three kind of stories that, Jay, we are going to talk about how amazing. Look at him.
Yeah,
we have the three stories. We have the Professor X Magneto Fatal Attraction storyline.
Right.
We have that entirety. We have the finale of Operation Zero Tolerance. And we have the beginning of Age of Apocalypse.
Right.
And instead of the three separate stories in which they are, and they kind of fed into each other over time, in different order, we got them all. We got them all right now. And we got Professor X and Magneto kind of working through some shit. Magneto probably should have worked through, I don't know, in his 20s or 30s, maybe, we'll give it.
Yeah.
Now, and he's, I don't even know how old Magneto's supposed to be in this, but he does not have the body of however old age he's supposed to be.
Listen, that man is svelte. Is that what they say? Is that what the right term is? You know what I mean. Either way, let's move on.
What word?
Is it svelte or
svelte? Svelte.
Okay, there we go.
Svelte. It means like very thin and formed.
He's Adonis. Let's put it that way. Let's go with that.
He's brolic as fuck.
Even in his briefs.
And so we got Bastion, who all the money in the world to that voice actor. He was truly a villain in a way where, like, I was kind of like, I'm not sure he should leave. And I like him.
To that point, I was a little disappointed with how we exited. Right? That didn't really feel like much of a payoff to me.
Like, he didn't sacrifice himself. He didn't change his mind.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he was just like, fuck it. Yeah. And now he's hanging out with Kang in whatever explosion universe that.
Yeah, it's just that's one of my few gripes. And I do have a couple. That's one of my few gripes in this episode. I didn't really get to see. I needed that payoff, as either he changed his mind, although wouldn't have been the best direction to go in, but also how damn strong is he? What other option was there realistically going to be other than him changing his mind?
Well, they tried. Cyclops tried to be like, hey, buddy.
He did.
Because apparently he's a mutant.
See, a lot of questions I have about that one, too. I'm like, he's not a mutant, though. But the way they explained his powers sounded very mutant-ish, because they said that he's basically a telepath for electronics.
He's a technopath.
Yeah.
He's like Forge. Forge a technopath.
Yeah. And
but he's like
Omega level. If
he's a mutant. Right?
If he's a mutant. Yeah.
Technically, Xavier's school is not exclusively for mutants.
Okay.
It is not exclusively for mutants. He has attempted, both in 97 canon and in extended canons, he has attempted to help other people. There are aliens that he's helped. Skrulls have, I think Hulkling for a while hung out in the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning. So it was never exclusively mutants. It was just kind of like weird kids. Almost like it was an allegory. Almost like they were trying to tell something. I'm not going to go into that.
I was going to say that.
Hey, what's this horse doing over here? I'm dead on the floor.
I was like, I'm not quite sure I can go there with you. Let's just see how far it goes.
It has long been like a haven for people that were, for lack of a better word, but prejudiced. You know, people who had prejudice against them. Right. Using mutants. So it was more that. So like I believe that Professor X went to be like, "Yo, Bastion, come hang out with us." And they also made it clear that like Bastion's mom, racist piece of shit. You know, like bigoted parent. You know, thoughts of the master mold. Being the smartest person in any room he's in. You know, all these things kind of add up. We get Bastion. We get this man who ripped Cable's arm off and turned it into this. And that wasn't like a fake arm. Like for anyone's unaware, Cable doesn't have a replacement Winter Soldier arm. That's Cable's arm. Like Cable's born with arm that is now techno-organified.
Yeah.
It is as much metal as it is biological to Cable.
Yeah.
So Cable now running around without an arm.
Right.
We have a couple of scenes. We have my favorite scene because they gave Rogue a couple of curves back. I don't know where they hid them for the last couple episodes.
Listen. Thought I was the only one that made slow down on this one.
Bang. Bang. Just they could have done a little bit more, but bang, just they fucked Bastion up, man. They did. I couldn't find enough pictures, and a part of me wants to be like, let's scrub through the episode to kind of show every scene of Bastion getting destroyed. We still might, but
I mean, why not? It'd be fun. I mean, it 100% would be fun. Yo, nah, he got mollywopped, as we would say. I mean, look at his face in the very end of it. You're just like, oh, that's what you look like right now? Okay.
I'm pulling it up.
Not good. Yeah, so that was my only thing with really Bastion specifically, was just how much I didn't feel like I got the payoff. I wanted to see, like I said, either him turn or him die or something, right? Or I don't know. I felt like that wasn't exactly the finality to a story, and maybe that's intentional. Maybe there is they did bring him back later on in the storyline in the comics too, right? After Operation Zero Tolerance, there was like a period of time where he came back and like really, really messed up a lot of the mutants. That was the first scene right here. Yep.
Trying to scrub it.
This one right here, this was good.
The standoff
good animation, right? Yeah, this was a good one.
Yo, Bastion. Jubilee gets her shot in.
Yeah, she got a little bit of shine.
Look at his face. We found it. Look at his face.
Look
at his face. This dude. Bastion got.
Yeah, he got his ass handed to him. No fair to say, he got his ass handed to him, bro.
Yeah, Rogue still in her supervillains onesie. Not playing around, doesn't have time for it.
Nah.
Then we got Magneto.
His name is Gambit. Remember it. That's what she said.
The scene when Professor X is like floating in the air with Magneto, and they're spinning around. Let's see if I can find that one again. That was early on, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was when they were. I think they were in the bar, right?
He's trying to convince Magneto to reverse everything. Here it is. Here it is.
So this scene right here, I mean...
Well, here it is, here it is, here it is. Just crawling, just floating in the air, fucking up Magneto.
This is like directly out of the comics too, by the way. It's so good. It's so good. Like that scene right there. So good.
And then we had... Someone was... That we had Old Man Sinister. We had Old Man Sinister here. Just
I'm trying to figure out how he didn't just fully like wither away and die. I'm trying to figure out like how that didn't happen because he reminds me of because this reminded me of what was it again? Was it Rapunzel?
Let down your hair?
Yeah, that one right there in that movie where she finally like
Tangled was the movie.
Like Tangled, yeah, the old woman she just like withers away into dust. After
I think because remember the most important thing about Phoenix ain't got time for your bullshit.
Yeah, she really don't.
Phoenix is just like, yo, you know, it'd be funny if I took out all the things that this guy loves about himself. Then we get a fast forward, right? Then there's an explode. Yeah. They save the universe. We get cameos, right? We get Captain America. We get Iron Man. We get
Dagger.
Was it Dark Star, Crimson Dynamo, and Omega Red just fucking up Russia? Just fucking that entire place up. Yeah, like you're gonna tell me they're helping? They ain't helping. That's not the crew of people. Yeah, that is not the crew of people that are like, you know what we must do? We must solve problem. We must help the people. No, they're like free shit. Let's go. Yeah, free shit. We got this OG Peter Parker from the Spider-Man cartoon with MJ, which every single fucking place had to remind us. See, because at the end, he was searching for MJ like anybody fucking cares.
Yeah.
But we knew it was Peter because they put fucking webbing all over the scene. We got Peter Parker, we got Flash Thompson hanging out in the background because we're lazy.
Yep.
MJ was there, same exact animation style, changed nothing. We had Cloak and Dagger, and everyone's like,
Dagger. Listen, I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, bring him in. I don't care. Bring in everybody.
Yeah, bring them all. Bring everybody in. Daredevil's hanging out there. Daredevil's like, fine, I will fight one city block outside of mine. But only one. It's Hell's Kitchen. Plus one block in every direction.
Daredevil. Gotta love him. Matt Murdock, we love you.
But I'd like to point out that there is a slight difference in crime. If everything in the world is fine, but in your particular city there are like robberies, that is a crime issue. If the world is gone to shit, there is no more crime. There is just survival. So, like, going out there and stopping people from robbing food places when we are well aware that the magnetic fucking sphere of the Earth has been nuclearly impacted and the world is going to end. This is now the correct time to loot and riot. Like we found it. We found the time. So like the fact that there were these heroes out there like kicking the shit out of people stealing TVs. I'm like, first of all, there is no electricity. What are you stealing that TV for? Doctor Strange is performing candlelight magic surgery. Yeah, with the candle floating around. And you're like, I'm gonna get this TV. I'm like, all right, Daredevil, you can beat those guys up because we're not missing. If they don't make it, the Gene Pool gonna be fine. But like, there are people with like holding food and Cloak and Dagger are like, nah,
no,
like,
don't you dare.
That's what we're worried about.
Hey, listen, priorities, man. Crime fighters.
I'm just gonna leave it on this Sinister.
Must stop crime.
This is, by the way, this is the thumbnail, Goofy. This picture right here.
This is it.
Yeah, it's no words though. No words. Just this picture. Yeah, just boom, like boom. You can put like a couple. You can put another picture.
I might put episode 10. I might just put those words and call it a day, or say no, never mind. No words. You're right. No words.
You can put other pictures around it, but no words. There cannot be words. The title has to be what? And then we got,
oh boy. See, so this is the one right here where, first and foremost, damn, that's some good ass. That's a good ass drawing right there. That is a good ass drawing. That's really good. The red eyes. Oh, perfect. Somebody had brought to my attention that he said Ensabaner.
Yeah.
And nobody really reacted.
Yeah, they did.
But Beast was
like, bro, don't make me. You know I will.
I didn't rewatch it. So you have. I'm hoping that you could pull it up right now so we can see it. This is the innocent version. This is pre-Celestial.
So we had the future. Mm-hmm. We had the past. This is the future, slim and red. This is Apocalypse.
We can't hear it, but that's okay.
You can't hear it. Everyone else can hear it.
Everybody else can hear it? Okay.
It's not loud, but... See, he walks by. They see Egypt under Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And then right here, Beast says, "Oh dear."
Okay.
As they realize how fucked they are.
Yeah.
They are 3,000. They're 5,000 years in, or yeah, about 5,000 years in the past.
In the past. Mm-hmm.
And then the future, we got. Let me see if I can pull this one up. I can, but it's tiny. Clan Ascani, and we got baby Nate Gray hanging out there, being Nate Gray. And then we got the final scene.
The final one, which was the good.
Okay. Yeah, like we weren't gonna let Gambit stay dead, motherfuckers. Like you, yeah. And if you thought they were gonna let Gambit, like you can't just kill big characters. You can't. You just can't do it. I know there's an argument people make. There's a huge point of contention. They're like, yo. Make deaths matter. If you want to make deaths matter, tell a story that has nothing to do with comic books. Because there's almost every death in the MCU has been a waste. Almost every. There's been a couple that have been good. But like when they killed Ironmonger in the first, Quicksilver is a great one. Like they kill Quicksilver. Why? Because it made the story have weight. Like could have cut off his leg.
Yeah. Anything else. Literally anything else.
When you kill the villains, look at all the villains they killed. They didn't kill Red Skull, but like who gives a shit? They didn't kill Loki. We look at how fucking far we got with Loki.
Mm-hmm.
My hand's not even on the fucking camera cut. Like my hand is gone. I'm leaving. Bro, they kept Loki alive, and we got many stories with Loki, and he became great. You think we couldn't gotten that out of anyone else? Jeff, was it Jeff Bridges? Jeff Bridges as the Ironmonger. We absolutely could have. We got Abomination, and then we got more Abomination later, but it wasn't in great spots. It was fine. They killed the Mandarin, and then they gave us the real Mandarin, and then they killed that fucking Mandarin.
Right.
Why? Why are we killing? Don't stop killing bad guys.
Yeah.
Stop. Just stop doing it. Stop doing it. They cut Thanos' head off, and it was like, oh, cool. What? Fuck. He already did the thing.
Like that Thanos didn't even matter to cut his head off. What was the point of that? He wasn't going to do anything anymore.
He was an old man. He was making stew.
He only had one arm. I mean, theoretically.
And let's be clear, we're going to see Thanos again.
We have to. Secret Wars is coming. If we
I'm of the mindset.
Secret Wars, come on now.
If you kill someone, it does have to matter. So just don't fucking kill anyone.
Right.
This is an example of why it's relevant. You kill Gambit, it sucked that Gambit died. That was the shit icing on the shit cake of genocide in Genosha. Yep. And Gambit died, right?
Yep.
There was like hundreds of thousands of dead mutants, and Gambit died heroically. The way you can bring him back is this. You have Apocalypse be like, come, be my horseman of death, because you're dead.
Right.
And then we get the greatest Marvel Heroes costume.
Are you pulling him up as a horseman?
Yeah, you know I am.
You have to. You have to.
You know it's about to happen.
Because he looks really good as Death.
Yeah.
Like that's damn good. By the way, that's my thumbnail for next week.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't fuck around with Gambit, bro. Gambit as Death in the Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot who the rest were. I'm going to say Psylocke was one, because who cares?
Polaris.
Was Polaris one of them?
Yeah. Polaris was Pestilence.
X-Men Run had those eggs of resurrection explain away the whole they may die, but they'll come back. I think he kind of took the running, like, who gives a shit if they die? Like, I have all 4 issues of the Death of Wolverine, all of the variant covers, they're all saved. Because I was like, they're not going to kill Wolverine. Mm-hmm. They're not going to kill Wolverine. They're not going to. I think they needed the way to be like, and they brought back Captain America, the eggs of resurrection. They brought back Cap. Yeah. So they can bring back any person. The reason they only used it on mutants is because the Scarlet Witch created the waiting room for mutants in the afterlife, where when they die, when a mutant dies, there's a new hell. There's a new limbo for them. There's a million afterlives in the Marvel universe. Like there's hell. Then there's Mephisto's realm of actual fucking hell. And then there's Niflheim, which is a version of hell. And then there's Muspelheim, which looks like hell but isn't hell. Right? And then there's the what is the something of reeds or whatever, the Egyptian hell or the Egyptian afterlife. And then who's to say, right? There's a million. There's Greek afterlife. There's a million afterlives.
Okay.
Because it's all based on like whatever psychic power that creates afterlives are. in the Marvel Universe. The mutant afterlife never existed as an afterlife. It was just you went where you went. You went whatever, like Nightcrawler is going to heaven. You know what I mean? Like a Catholic. Yeah. But now, if you're a mutant and you die, you have an option. You can go to the waiting room, which is where mutants can go when they die, and they just sit there and they just fucking hang out. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, they just sit there and they hang out, and then their soul is pulled from the afterlife and put into their new body.
This is like the whole Krakoa. This is the whole Krakoa thing, right?
The Hulk can't die. They did that in Immortal Hulk. They explained why the Hulk can't die. Because he came back after Banner got killed by Hawkeye in the pre-event Civil War II, which was terrible. The Hulk can't die. Okay. Every time the Hulk dies, he just walks out of the afterlife. He just goes, fuck this, I'm back! Yeah. Banner dies, and then he hulks out in the afterlife, and the Hulk leaves. Every time. Goes to what's called the Green Door. So, when you kill a hero, Iron Man needs to stay dead. But not forever. Agreed. He needs to stay dead for a good... I'll say we need to do 2 whole Avengers movies without an Iron Man before we can have an Iron Man back. We can have Robert Downey Jr. come back as something. Just can't be Iron Man.
I would say, like, after Secret Wars, it's kind of fair game. Like, you can bring him back at that point. Like, I would say bring him back then and then do Armor Wars. You know what I mean? It would make complete sense, but I think that they're trying to do Armor Wars before that, right? So, but I would say perfect time to
I don't want Tony Stark. I don't want RDJ Tony Stark back. I don't want him. He did a great job.
I wasn't talking about RDJ. Did I say RDJ specifically?
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm agreeing. Okay. I'm with you. We're the same page. I'm saying I don't want RDJ back. If he wants to cameo, I got no problem with that. If he wants to be like the AI for something as art, I'm cool with that. But we are going to have a Tony Stark again. We are going to have a Tony. We need to have a Black Panther T'Challa, not his son whose name is T'Challa. Fuck that.
Like T'Challa.
Yeah,
T'Challa. And that's kind of what I'm hoping. There was rumors that this was supposed to be Secret Wars was supposed to be like a reset for the MCU, which was kind of like a reset in the freaking Marvel. Well, the 2015 Secret Wars was more of a reset in the Marvel universe, right? Not the original Secret Wars. I'm trying to remember.
Both. The original Secret Wars is how Spider-Man got the Venom symbiote.
Okay.
It's how it was a lot. There was a lot of stuff in the original one. It gave Reed Franklin over, like, that was the beginning of Franklin, the idea of Franklin Richards. Yeah, but like the original Secret Wars wasn't big. The most recent Secret Wars, the Doom Wins Secret Wars, which was perfect story.
I don't know. Is there a little bit of bias in that because of Doom? I wonder.
No, because Doom at the end of it, Doom was like, "I'm bored." You're right.
I mean, come on, Doom. After one of the smartest men, or if not the smartest, in the entire universe. And actually has conviction.
I'm trying to think of who's smarter than Doom.
Bastion. I'm kidding. Okay.
Bastion might be. Bastion might be, man.
The best part. So Jay said the best part of OG Secret Wars was Spider-Man
just beating the shit out of everyone, and then Xavier's like, "You're showing us up, bro." Spider-Man is insane. Like we laugh at Spider-Man all the time because, as we've discussed in the past, in order to write for Spider-Man, you have to hate Spider-Man. It's the only way they'll let you in. You can't be like, "I'm a huge Spider-Man fan." They're like, "Oh, cool. Do you want to write for anything else?" You're like, "But I like Spider-Man." "You want to write for Miles?" "I mean, I will, But can I write for Peter? No, you like Peter.
Now, see
And then they'll just go. Some guy will be walking down the street yelling at a child for wearing a Spider-Man. He's like, "Grow up! Spider-Man's for kids." But this is also a kid he's yelling at, and they'll be like, "Stop it, sir. Would you like to be the head writer for Spider-Man? Do you like everything around Spider-Man, but hope Peter Parker stubs his toe every morning? Come on in. They hate you. So
you are our guy. you are our guy.
Spider-Man is psychotically strong.
Oh, he is.
There's a run of Spider-Man in the 90s where he gets the power cosmic.
Okay.
And
the power cosmic? Why?
Yep. I have the hero click. Not here, but I have a bunch of hero clicks. I have the hero click of Cosmic Spider-Man. He got because the power cosmic was looking for a home. So it found Spider-Man. And Spider-Man was not prepared for the power cosmic. So like
who did he accidentally kill?
Oh no. Nobody.
Okay.
But like his spider sense was in tune with like reality.
Ooh.
So like he would get a notification that something is happening on planet 50 light years away, and he'd be like, I can't get there. And then he's flying around. Let me see if I can find a picture of Cosmic Spider-Man.
That's insane.
It's a cool fucking Peter.
By the way, Jay's in the comments. I saw your comment on Planet X and I guess something else. We'll have to get around to it. I remember I saved the comment.
Here's Cosmic Spider-Man.
There's Cosmic Spider. He looks cool AF.
Yeah.
That looks really dope.
Yeah. Yep.
Marvel Ruins.
Too strong.
Okay.
Too strong. Yeah. Pete, it didn't even make him that much stronger. It didn't even make him that much stronger. He just had the power cosmic.
Well, I mean, there was one period of time where who got his powers? Was it Doc Ock?
Oh, we could talk about that. I could talk about that for hours.
And then didn't he like punch Goblin or something like that and kill him?
So Doc Ock was dying of cancer.
Okay.
And he switched bodies with Pete. He switched minds with Pete. And Doc Ock's like, yeah, I'm be Spider-Man. And then Pete is kind of this voice in his head that's like, no, help people. No, it's okay. I'll be a good dude. It's cool. So Doc Ock's like, you know what? I'm getting a second lease on life. I'm going to be a hero. And he shows up and starts to like fight. So he sees Scorpion. He just drops down. He's like, because remember, Doc Ock's not witty as shit at all.
Yeah.
At all. He's not funny. And that's why it's so great. Because he's trying and he just can't be funny. So he just goes, it's Mac Gargan. Who let you out of prison? And he's like, shut up, Spider-Man. And then he just goes, wow. It's super easy to dodge when you know it's coming. And then he just goes, hey, Scorpion. Boom, punches his jaw clean off of his body.
Oh, my
God. Jaw no longer on. And he wasn't even like, huh? He was just like, up. He was like, meow, 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 boom, punches his jaw. And then in that one moment, they cut to the scene. And he's just like, this motherfucker was holding back. Like, for years we've been fighting and he's been holding. He could have done this.
Mm-hmm.
How strong am I? And then Doc would be like, car, bus, tree. Great run.
Yeah.
And again, I believe that was Dan Slott, who does hate Spider-Man. But I'm not saying Dan Slott's a bad writer. Dan Slott's a phenomenal writer. But he hates Spider-Man so much that the only way he can make Spider-Man good is by making him Doc Ock. Then Doc Ock falls in love with a dwarf named Anna Maria Marconi. And she's like, meh. And then he goes to, we're going to talk about this now because I fucking love this. This is my favorite. I love this story. I love all of it.
Now go ahead.
I'm cooking now. So he goes to his job at Horizon Labs. He goes to his job at Horizon Labs and he talks to his boss. And his boss is like, Peter, your work's gotten better, but you really need to kind of, focus up on these things. And then like Doc Ock Peter just goes like, bro, I got a PhD, same as you. You can't talk down to me. And then the head of Horizon Labs is like, I mean, you don't have a PhD. And Doc Ock just goes, I could stand for a lot, sir. But I could not live in a world where I do not have a PhD. Good day. And then he leaves and goes to get his PhD. And that's, yeah, dude, it's the best run. Superior Spider-Man was so good. And the entire time, there were these tiny little stickers of the Green Goblin's head showing up. These tiny little stickers. The entire time, some of them. And we didn't know what it meant, right? Nobody had any idea what that meant. Goofy's dead.
This is so funny.
Bro, I'll do it. I'll make a video series with just me. Like, I don't want to help people, like, find out what happened. I want people to understand the way I understood it, which is just the most ridiculous shit. He's like running around. He's saving the day. The symbiote suit bonds with him again. And he's like, and the symbiote suit's like, wait a minute, you suck. It knows it's not Peter. Like, it knows. So he starts his own company called Parker Industries.
Oh, man.
And uses like 10% of his ideas, like his brain, to be like, oh, I have spider robots now. I'm gonna sell them. But like small little like household robots that do little shit.
Yeah.
Overnight. Literally he becomes a billionaire. Wow. So Doc Ock Peter Parker is now a billionaire. Wow. Parker Industries is the #1 trading, like it goes live in like 3 months, IPO. It is insane. He now has robot drones patrolling the city to keep it safe. JJ is like, Spider-Man is saving the day. Like, it is psychotic. Yeah, like, dude, it is so crazy. And this entire time, the whole time, there's just a Peter in the back of Doc Ock's head saying, like, this is all well and good, but you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself. He's like, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna fuck this dwarf. Like, it is crazy. And then all the entire time, Norman Osborn has been hacking into... he figures out that Doc Ock is Spider-Man.
Oh, man. That's beautiful.
So he hacks into the robot so it cannot see anything with a goblin face. So these stickers across the city are like blind spots. And he creates an army of like goblin-faced criminals running around and takes the hell over what's generally called Spider Island as one of the part of the series.
Yeah.
And Doc Ock is not smart enough to beat Norman. Because Norman's like, I'm going to kill your girlfriend and this thing and your mom and 2 other people. And Doc Ock's like, dude, I do not know how to beat this. And then Pete's in the background's like, yo, tag me in. Tag me in, I got this. And then Doc's like, but I'll die. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I believe in you if you can try. He's like, no, I literally cannot beat this. So you know what, Pete?
Man.
Take over, baby. You got it. Spoilers, timeout. They continue this story. There's also like a window of time where he travels through time to do some other shit. We don't want to talk about that because they don't talk like they just say like Doc Ock Spider-Man traveled through time and then came back. We don't know what happened. They do another series later.
Okay. Got you. Okay. There's like a spin-off basically of
So
that.
Pete takes over his body and then immediately like goes to fight Goblin, and Goblin's like, Otto, you know you're not smarter than me. And then immediately Pete's like, yeah, but I'm so much prettier than you. And Goblin, in his mask, his face goes like, shit, it's Parker. Like, and then just gets fucked up. It is so good. It is probably the best Spider-Man run, I'd say, in decades. Like,
okay. All right.
I from like the 80s to this, and nothing since this has been a good run.
Okay.
Unrelated, and just to put the cap on this, Doc Ock cloned Peter, put his mind in the clone of Peter's body, because clones, right? Always clones.
Yeah. I mean,
and then got fat again. But because Doc Ock, but because Doc Ock doesn't have the metal things anymore, he created this thing, like it's like a belt that is the tentacles that think on their own, basically. Okay. And it has the like it has the mannerisms of a puppy. But okay, this is where it all is all worth it. It loved, like, it's like a puppy. So if Doc Ock can like have it leave him and go do other shit, well, because it's remember, Doc's in a clone of Peter's body, just fat now because he ate nothing but like sweets. Yeah, like he just ate carbs all day for like 6 months and was like, I'm fat again, let's go. Got a bowl cut. So he just looks like a fat Pete.
Love it.
But the arms are coded to Doc Ock's biosignature, which is Pete's biosignature. Yeah. So every time the arms interact with Pete on their own, they follow him like a puppy because they think it's him. We see if I can find a picture of that too. Dude, it's insane. Doc's arms follow Pete.
This is good. I've never read it. Now I have to. How long is this? I'm gonna look it up. now, because now I'm curious.
How old's the Superior Spider-Man run? It's only like 10 or 15. Hold on, I found a picture of Fat Pete Doc Ock. If you want that. All right. So this is what Doc Ock looks like now that he's just Fat Pete.
What?
Yeah. And I'm trying to find the arms. Hold on. I swear I'll find it. There's got to be a clip for it. Here.
It's all good, Jay.
I found it. Jay, never feel bad about it.
Yeah, please keep doing it. As long as you feel comfortable doing it.
So here is a picture of Doc Ock's arms in a dog. There's one. And I'm trying to see if I could find another one. Yeah, here. So here's Doc Ock, right, in Fat Peter's body. Come, my arms, we should defeat him together. Sorry, Doc, your gizmo's with me now. Come here, boy. And it's cut off right before he's like, wait, what? Because it's like, you're both the same, but I fit him better because he's not fat. Bro, it's... I like my comics ridiculous. Which is why I like Spider-Gwen. I've bogarted too much of this blood. I just needed to go off on that.
Nah, that's good. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Spider-Gwen's one is a little weird too. So
it's wacky. There's drama. It's the same with any story, right? Sometimes you read a story because you want like drama. Sometimes you want comedy. Sometimes you want thriller, action, terror. Like, it's the same reason you watch anything. I'm not reading comics. You tell a good story, I'll watch. I'm not linked to a particular kind. And I love when they get wacky. Because, take advantage of the fact that this is already wacky as shit. Right. Don't make it stupid inherently. Like, they did a damage control run where it was a series about damage control. And it was kind of funny because it was just like a whole bunch of necktie clipboard people cleaning up after supervillain and superhero attacks. Graviton is crushing a planet and they're like, guys, I don't know how we're gonna uncrush this place.
You want me to uncrush? So that's from Incredibles. If anyways,
yeah. Yeah. So we got everything we needed in the series finale of X-Men. Any thoughts on the series finale? Because we kind of started and want to go back and they kind of sped run this a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's put that thought on, and I'll just leave this topic up here. Is the X-Men are the future of the MCU, so why are they burning through so much plot? Go ahead.
Yeah, so in my opinion, I think this was a number one. I think the series was really good. I mean, I think it's hard for me to compare it to things like Loki, WandaVision, Moon Knight, those type of things, because this is a animated series. So this stands in its own section for me. In my mind, it just stands in its own section. But if I'm looking at it as an overall project on Disney Plus, this is probably their best that they've done since probably Infinity War, right? More Endgame. I think, in my opinion, I don't think that there's been any production or project that they've done that has been this good with storytelling, this good with setting up the right stakes, this good with villains, this good with proper payoffs throughout the series, although I didn't like the ending payoff. And it did a pretty good job of setting things up for what's to come. But I also felt like you said, they rushed through a lot of it. And I would have loved a little bit more. The Inferno thing, I wanted that to be a 2-part episode, right? Life, Death. I don't necessarily know if I needed more episodes on it, but I just needed maybe some longer episodes that flushed out the story a little bit, right? Because the whole when we got to Storm and then Ford is talking about "I love you," I was like, "The F? What did I miss?" I feel like, what did I miss right there? When did they get to this point? So for me personally, I just feel like I would have appreciated just a little bit more length to the stories. But then to a certain extent, I also asked the question, if it was longer, would we have still enjoyed it the same? Because would it have leave more room for BS?
So, okay, let's hear.
That's another question too. Sometimes less is good.
All right, so here's the full list of the episodes. They released To Me, My X-Men and Mutant Liberation Begins. The first 2 episodes, perfect.
Yeah.
Fire Made Flesh, could have been 2 to 3 episodes on its own.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say I agree with that. Motendo, in fairness, could have been 2 episodes by themselves too.
Motendo could have been 1 episode, and they could have had more involved.
Mm-hmm.
And they could have given us, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Motendo. Life Death could have been the next episode.
Like a full episode for part 1. Yeah.
The Life Death could have been 1 episode. Life episode part 1. 1 episode. Then, so now we're on 6 or, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
6, yeah.
So that's number 7. 8 is Remember It. And now we're like, oh, shit.
Right.
Then we can get Life Death part 2.
So then we're at 9, right?
Bright Eyes, right, can be 2 episodes.
Okay.
Because it's setting us up. And then Tolerance is Extinction, instead of being 3 parts of one thing, could have been the remainder of the series and like 5 total episodes.
Yeah, you're right.
Instead of it being this.
Yeah. It could have been. Yeah.
They could have, because there was so much they were trying to do here that it felt like everything was like, we got to get it done. Maybe if the episodes were longer.
13 or 14 episodes. I think 13 or 14 episodes would have been a perfect place to go. Yeah.
Like, maybe if the episodes were longer, I wouldn't have felt that way. Maybe if they were 45 to an hour episodes.
Yes.
I might be able to think 10 was okay. I just feel like they speed ran. Like, we went from, hey, look, it's Gene. Gene shows up, and we're immediately like, Gene was a clone, and this was this, and this. That was too fast. Like, I don't care.
It was like the same episode. She was back, and then Genosha.
We didn't get to feel. Cyclops is like, yeah, this has been happening for a couple weeks. There's an old expression, which is show, don't tell. Yeah. Show us that Cyclops is cheating with Jean in like these off scenes with Madeline leading up to Life Death. We've met Madeline for exactly 1.1 episodes before she dies in Life Death.
Life Death, yep.
It didn't have the weight it could have. It was too much. It was too fast. This should have been 13 episodes. They should have been significantly longer.
Right.
I think the last 3 episodes were paced well. I think that I think this entire thing was speed running to get to a point where the last 3 episodes made sense.
Yeah.
And I think that they're like I said, the first 2 episodes were fine. Fire Made Flesh could be 2 or 3. 5. Motendo itself could be its own thing with like multiple characters. That's 6. Life Death is 2 parts.
The reason why I said Motendo could have still been 2 episodes is because I do think that there was a little bit of fun that you could have had bringing in some of the other X-Men characters a little bit. Yeah. That's the reason why I said, like, okay, it could have been like a 2-part episode. I don't mind episodes like that because it was, to me personally, after Fire Made Flesh, which once again should have been 2-parter, it would have given me a little bit of time to catch my breath a little bit after.
Every question been 3 episodes. I'll even give it so far as Fire Made Flesh. The last episode of Fire Made Flesh could have been Fire Made Flesh and Motendo. I'll even say that. They could have finished they could have done an epilogue to that story and then did Motendo, giving us a full Life Death 1. Because Life Death, honestly, boring. The way they did it was boring.
It was.
And like if they could have fleshed it out and it would have been less boring.
It also got
and even Life Death Part 2 had
the second part was a little confusing if you ask me. Like
because they also were talking about other shit.
Yeah. So I remember I was like, okay, what? Okay, Storm is claustrophobic. Okay, I get that point. But then we're Friday. It was like I said. I remember that was the episode where I had to rewind a couple times to say, what are they trying to tell me in this episode again? Okay,
fine.
Because it came after Remember It. So I'm trying to figure out, because in my head, I'm trying to figure out how does Remember It connect to this? Oh, it doesn't connect. This is a separate story that we're continuing on from the previous episode that happened before Remember It. But then we didn't even really get a full episode of Life, Death in that previous episode before Remember It in the first place. So now I'm like, okay, what happened okay, so the adversary came in and then took them away, and so it didn't really seem like it connected very well. And maybe I'm the only one that felt confused a little bit. Maybe that's me, but I felt a little bit like I needed a refresher of what the hell Life Death was in the X-Men 97 format.
What they did was fine. I'm not saying it wasn't good. It was enjoyable.
We're nitpicking. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
But they could have gotten 3.5 months out of this series.
Oh, easily.
This could have led us right up to Deadpool.
Deadpool, yeah.
And I get it. Like I said, I understand that animation is rough. But also, they understand that their shit sucks because they've fired and recast and fired the Daredevil people multiple times. They even gave us its new graphic of Born Again with the New York City skyline, which I'll pull up later. They gave us that this week. They finally gave us the name of Agatha for they changed it 8 times. Now it's been Agatha all along is the title.
At this point, I'm waiting until the series actually goes live before I believe any one of the actual names. Oh, real quick, by the way, Jay mentioned or he asked the question, how many different runs did the series cover? So Fatal Attractions, OZT. Oh, I forgot E is E for extension. I forgot about that one. Goblin Queen, so Inferno. Adversary, Life Death. Was one that they
was
covered.
A series.
Yeah. Is there anything else that they covered? I mean, we know that they're going into Age
they're
of Apocalypse.
They're like flicking the clit of A for Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And Onslaught.
Onslaught, they did include, although Onslaught is such a convoluted run. So is fucking Inferno, and they didn't have to make it that convoluted. Yeah.
The thing is, like, they were clearly okay with adding all Marvel's bullshit to it. There was Captain America, there was Daredevil, Spider-Man showed up, like
they mentioned Hulk.
They showed us Hulk.
They showed Hulk.
They showed Reed Richards in the last episode. Morph became Reed Richards for no reason, but
for no reason at all. Made
because it was fun.
But, yeah. Because he could.
You're a shapeshifter. You don't need to become Stretchy. You could just be Stretch. Yeah. I'm also now convinced that Morph is the most powerful X-Men.
I have been wanting to make a video about that, but I'm just like, is it appropriate?
X-Men 97. No, make that video. X-Men 97 has made Morph the most powerful because he's not just becoming them. He's gaining their abilities.
He's gaining their powers.
He's like when he became Colossus, he straight up punched through shit. When he became Psylocke, he had daggers. Like he just found daggers. He was like, He carried around the limbo. What's the sword? What's what's her name's sword? No, not Madeline's sword.
Magic?
Magic sword. Yeah, soul sword. Sword. Yeah, he just had the soul sword. Like, I don't like that he can copy their powers. See, that's the thing. I didn't know he could. Well, that's So
it's just not like he can copy physical abilities, but. Like, for instance, if he turned into Scarlet Witch, he can't copy her hex magic or chaos magic.
Can he?
Can't do that. But
from my
understanding,
you don't know that.
I am gonna make a video on what the hell Morph's powers are. I'm gonna do a deep dive on it.
I think he's Peter Petrelli from Heroes. I think he's just like, what do you do? I do.
Well, the thing about it is, so here's the thing: in the original '92 series, right? He turned into Wolverine and then pulled out claws. Yeah. But the claws got immediately cut by Wolverine. So I'm just like, okay, well, so he can gain physical attributes, but he's not at the same level of the person that he copied. It's enough. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
But what I just said though, TLC, is that he did kind of copy their physical attributes. They showed it in the original series.
Every time he copied Gene, he was just a sassy redhead. He never telekinetically used powers. I don't know.
Right. I think he can copy physical abilities. That's my understanding. He can copy physical abilities, but he can't copy, like you said, like Gene's, telekinetic powers.
Jay makes a point. Over on Twitch, he says, he might have been enhanced by Sinister, and you know what?
That makes sense.
I'm fine with, I'm willing to accept it. I just need to know all of it. You know what? I need to know everything he can do. Can he just be because he became the Juggernaut?
Everything.
Yeah, he became the Juggernaut, who's not a mutant. And I'm like, yo, can he become Because he didn't just become Magneto and reverse it, right?
Yeah, because Juggernaut's powers don't come from. He's not a mutant, so he doesn't. Where does he get his powers from again?
It's the Crimson Gem of Sidorak.
Yeah, so technically he shouldn't have been able to use his abilities.
Yeah. And enchantment. He's technically God powered. And then I remember when Colossus became the avatar of the Juggernaut, because Colossus went to Sidorak and was like, bro, Juggernaut's destroying a whole bunch of shit. Sidorak's like, yes, good, great. He's like, yeah, but he's not doing it in your name. He's like, that what? Fuck him. You're my new guy. And then Colossus is like, let's break shit.
Stop. Yo, I'm telling you right now. I've been drinking, so forgive me. I need you to do a freaking video on GnT the way that you talk to us on freaking stream. Don't change nothing. Change nothing. I'm telling you, I'm giving you free. Change nothing.
All right. Why Scarlet Spider is the best Spider-Man. I'm gonna solve this problem real quick. Remember how when Pete was a kid and it was his fault, his uncle died, and he realized with great power came great responsibility? Well, when the clone of Pete was born, he had all of Pete's memories. And when he found out he was the clone, when he determined, oh no, and he took the name Ben Reilly, he's like, but none of that happened to me. I remember it, but that wasn't me. I didn't fuck up. I would have saved the day. I'm a G like that. So he has all of the powers and none of the responsibility. Yeah. So what is the first thing Scarlet Spider does when he becomes Sensational Spider-Man? He fucks the shit out of the burglar's daughter. The guy who killed Uncle Ben, he bends her over a fucking couch and rails her out. Sensational Spider-Man issue number 2. You're welcome, everybody. Fucks the shit out of the dude who killed his clone, the real version of his grandpa. Fucks that guy's daughter.
And like
heroic. Then this dude comes back 10 years later after being dead for no reason. And then he goes, Pete, you're going to help me take over the world. And Pete's like, no, sir, I am a good guy. I will not do that. And he's like, yeah, dude? Yeah? You're going to, yeah? Cool. Here's Gwen Stacy. And he's like, yeah, but it's not real. He's like, cool, guess who I got cooking in the back? Uncle Ben, motherfucker. And Pete's like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What can I do to help you, Ben? What? Got him. No responsibility. Scarlet Spider is the best Spider-Man.
And like I said, do that on the channel. Change nothing. Change nothing. Only thing is that I may ask you.
Just start putting weed pens in my mouth. Like, all right, guys, I got this.
My only request is, don't swear or say anything too provocative for the first 45 seconds.
Oh, the rules of YouTube.
Yeah, the first 45 seconds. After that, free reign.
If you track my timing, I watched the timer. Like today in the video, it was 45 seconds in that I commented on Bastion's cum gutters.
Yeah, that's
I was like 45 key. Seconds. Let's fucking go.
That's incredibly key right there. The first 45 seconds, just get past the 46 seconds and onward. Yeah,
45.01. The first syllable of gutter. Like it's all coming out.
That is too good. Good.
It's because dude, I know Ben from Comic Storian. We could be like, Goofy's a little low volume. I could fix that.
Oh my bad, Jay. Well, I'm
you might have to fix that.
FNB, I think. Hold on. I think I'm pretty loud.
I don't know if I can fix that. Hold on.
I know my volume is on max, but let me see. Let me see if it's something in my settings. Please hold.
Sorry.
I think me you have this. Oh, I'm maxed out on Discord too. I can't go any further.
Yeah, maybe I have you lower on Discord, which I don't think I do, but
me and you have been having this conversation about there's like a way that people say to do YouTube, and then there's the way that we want to do YouTube, which is just be who we are.
All killer, no filler, baby.
I am Goofy Rexy.
I am Dirty Tony.
By the way, let's be very clear. Goofy Rexy, well, Rexy has been added on after years. But Goofy has been a nickname of mine since I was like 14.
You have no idea how many people thought my real last name was Scungili. You have no idea.
I was one of them. of them.
Just so many people are like, why do you use your real name? I'm like, what do you mean? Tony? They're like, no, Tony Scungili. I'm like, you think I was born into this earth of the Scungili family? You think I'm the heir to the Scungili fortune?
That's pretty damn good. Yeah, I gotta say. It's pretty damn good.
Nah, man. Just
But seriously. But that's the reason why.
Because if my name was Tony Nussbaum, you probably get a little too much on it.
Nussbaum might have been a giveaway. Oh my goodness. No, but seriously, that's the reason. Hey, more stuff to come on Keeping the Comic and GnT. GnT's we're gonna do some stuff here. Get a little bit on, get it on and pop it. Wow, the Red Sox lost 10-6.
Good.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
Hey man, you live where you live, I live where I live, man.
Yeah.
Grats to your Bruins, right? Grats to your Bruins.
I mean, they hold on, did they win tonight? I don't know.
They gonna.
Let me see.
They put the Maple Leafs in the dumpster, man.
No, they
Grats
lost.
to your Bruins, but
they lost tonight. So they're out. They're out of the playoffs now, guys. They're out of the playoffs. Well, to be fair, the Florida Panthers were significantly better than they were, so it's kind of what it is.
Pacers beat the Knicks too, but the series tied, so we got one more going.
So either way, we know that the Celtics are playing on Tuesday night. Everybody keeps on asking me the question whether or not the Celtics are winning the championship this year. I keep on telling them,
no.
If they play Denver, no. The answer is no, guys. I have zero confidence. If they beat the Denver Nuggets in the championship, I will tip my hat to them. I do not think that they can beat the Denver Nuggets in the championship. If it's Minnesota and they lose, they suck.
Nah, man.
And when I said that when I said they suck, I more so mean that they're just not ready yet. That's all I mean. But Denver, I think Denver's a juggernaut, man. I just said that they are. Jokic is just a damn good player. I don't know how you beat that.
Bro.
I don't know how you beat that.
we're not going to gloss over the fact that Jay just told us his name since he was 7 has been Cookie. We're going to call Jay Cookie from now on.
All right, Jay Cookie, I'm sorry, bro. You did that to yourself. There's no way that we're going to be able to look past that now. Every time I see your name, it's going to be Jay Cookie.
I know so little about basketball. I thought some dude named Nick was playing tonight. All right. So I got some things that we haven't read yet. Okay. Just random titles that look good. Ms. Marvel season 2 reportedly being discussed. Good, bring it in. Season 1 was great.
I don't know, bro. Season 1 was okay for me. I like her. She's great. The season though.
Yeah, but season 1 was fine. I enjoyed season 1. If we're doing season 2, it's got to be they didn't make it for adults; they made it for kids.
100%.
The problem is that's not. You can make other things for kids. Don't fuck with tradition. You don't fucks with tradition.
So I'm gonna tell you the truth. Here's my problem with Marvel. They have trained me and told me that this thing has to lead to something else.
Yeah, it's their fault, not ours. Fuck you.
It really is.
Fuck
their
you,
fault.
chat.
So, when I see a season 2 coming, I'm like, well, what does this lead to?
Yeah. What's it going to be? She's a mutant now, both in comics and in MCU. So
MCU, yeah. Well, MCU
is Ms. Marvel season 2 going to be something related to mutants? Because then I'm in, exploring her mutant heritage, maybe finding some stuff. Okay, it's got to matter. Either it has to matter, or it has to be so good that we just want to see more, like Moon Knight. We haven't heard shit about Moon Knight season 2. By the way,
here's my thing. It has to matter, or tell me that it doesn't.
Elsa Bloodstone.
I'm gonna watch anyways.
Elsa Bloodstone in Werewolf by Night, the standalone, the 1 hour thing.
Yeah,
that was phenomenal for what it was.
I loved it.
And it gave us a little bit of characters. It gave us a cool little Halloween theme stuff. You definitely want more Iman Vellani. I want her friend Nakia. I want her friend to be in that show for reasons.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I had to check her age before I said that. 18. Now she's probably in her 20s. She's probably 20.
Okay.
Old enough that I could say that. Now I don't feel good about it, but old enough that I could say it without going to jail.
I was gonna say it's you're still kind of teetering a little bit.
No, I'm not happy about it. I'm not proud of it, but I'm not disgusted by it, which is not the same. I checked immediately. How old is that child actor? 18? Cool, we're good.
Yeah, I saw her and I was like, oh wow, she's cute. And I saw her age and I was like, I immediately think she is.
I'm not.
I immediately thought she was cute, but in a different way. I was like, oh, she's like a little sister. Okay.
Look, Iman Vellani's adorable. She's adorable, which is not a phrase I use for anybody who's of age. There are no adorable 26-year-olds. This doesn't happen. I'd rather start to road to YA. I don't want YA.
I'll be honest with you though.
They already did. That's what season 2 will probably be, actually. Because she's building the team.
The actress who played Aisha
in
Miss Marvel, she was a great grandmother, essentially. Yeah, she's a great grandmother.
Okay.
Aisha, whoever the actress was that played her, I was like, oh, okay. So she can't be in any more episodes?
Oh, what up?
Oh, okay.
Oh, what up? 36? That's my age.
Yeah. 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 All right. Let's so season reportedly being discussed season 2. No, so my question is, how does this tie into the MCU? Why do I need to care about it? And if I don't need to care about it, then it's also okay for you to let me know that I don't need to care about it. I'm still gonna watch it. Just let me know. Just let me know.
I'm not gonna I'm gonna kid gloves it. The same way I kid gloves anything that I'm like, it's not for me. I don't gotta talk about it.
Oh,
like,
James, we're not judging you.
No, it's not judgment. I don't believe anyone's a person until they're 24. That's the truth. Like, because up until you're 24, you still have these stupid things like hopes and dreams. That dies at 24. If you're 24, 25, 26, and you still have hopes and dreams, congratulations on being rich and white. Like, that's the only thing I can tell you. Like, congratulations on being rich and white. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You gotta get rid of that shit.
Hopes and dreams. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Hopes and dreams get beaten out of you by 24. That's when you're like, that's when your thoughts, like when you were a kid, and all the things you've done up to your life of like, what a great relationship. Like, anyone who gets married before 24, spoilers, you're getting divorced. Sorry, you're gonna. It's gonna happen.
I got married at 24.
Yeah, it's fine.
So
yeah,
we've been going 10 years strong now. Oh my gosh, this year's year 10.
Oh man, you know what you got to get her for your 10?
What is that?
One of those 100,000 subscriber YouTube plaques.
I would love to. But the way that YouTube is set up is that don't worry about it. We'll get there next year. Don't worry. We'll do it next year.
It'll be fine.
We'll be okay. I'm not worried about that.
Ms. Marvel, Nova. We're still talking about Nova.
Why do we have such a hard on for Nova? Why? How does he fit into any story that's in the MCU currently right now, though?
Nova's one of those characters that has a weird cult following.
I don't understand why, though.
Your wife wasn't 24 yet when we got married. Were you? TLC? Were you? Were you over 24? Average the H's out.
You may be in rarefied air, TLC. I'm gonna be honest. Listen, I'm gonna be a little transparent here. I am, like I said, me and my wife, who got married when I was 24. She was technically 25 when we got married. True. You can always tell how well a marriage is going based on your sexual activity.
TLC, that's an average of 26. You're fine.
You can always tell based on your sexual activity. If you're still having sex a couple times a week
with each other, let me clarify, with each other,
with your spouse, you're usually good.
You could be having sex 40 times a week, but if it ain't with your wife or your husband, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
if he's in the closet with the camcorder wearing a Superman onesie, like.
It's very specific.
You're making it work, but look, don't judge me. I'm the third for a lot of couples. I'm just saying. I give good third wheel energy. I'm giving, man.
But usually that's like kind of like the telltale sign. Listen, sex is not not the whole thing, but to be honest with you, usually everything else kind of leads to sex because we are sexual beings. Let's be honest. We're sexual beings. Yeah. So if that's not happening, usually something's going on there. You should be concerned.
While we're off on tangents, not talking about Nova or anything that matters, right. I realized what my personal hell would be. My personal hell would be I'd find man or woman, doesn't matter, but in this situation tends to be a woman, love of my life, we get married, we move in, we have everything, and that person comes up to me and goes, we're gonna start a YouTube channel where we do that thing that families do. And every time I try to kill myself, it becomes a toy. So like if I shoot myself, the gun becomes a Nerf gun. If I try to drink bleach, I can't die. I'm just stuck in a hell with my significant other wanting to do one of those like Scungili family, like YouTubes where they're like, this is what with our kids. You ever see those ones that's like I'm honestly surprised you haven't done it yet, Goofy. You got enough kids. The one where it's like, I want another kid, and then they cut scene to like 6 kids, and I'm like, why would we put this on the internet? Why would we do this? Why?
No, listen, me and my wife have had this conversation. Here's the thing. We have enough sex where there is plenty of risk involved. Listen, women have their periods of time throughout the month. It's a little rough. You understand? It's usually when she's not having that time where I'm starting to get to the point where like she seems to have a higher sex drive than I do. But that's a separate conversation for a different time. Either way, we have sex enough to where
I thought you were gonna say too much. I was like, you watch your whore mouth.
No, I'm not. I'm never gonna say it. It's too much. I'm never gonna complain. To where the point we have 4 kids. Okay, let's be very clear. The 4 kids, 3 of them were not expected. Okay, let's be very clear about that. The 3 of them were not expected. Only one of them was planned, and that was my son. So there have been many of chances and slip-ups that have happened throughout life. Okay, so I am at the point where my wife is waiting for us to have this vasectomy that I'm going to be having in 13 days from now. We're both looking forward to it. Let's put it that way. We're both looking forward to it. And then we still have to wait another 3 months. Who knows? What the heck?
Here's a quote I just found from Kamala Khan, and thank God she's adorable, because this quote is fighting words. During an interview in 2023, Vellani asked which super team she'd most likely to see be in the MCU. She said, the big screen X-Men. I don't think that's a bad answer. I think the X-Men is so cool, and it really just marks her as a legitimate mutant, and all the naysayers can no longer say nay.
Okay.
Remember when I was talking about hopes and dreams? If you think that if you put something on a movie or a TV show, it will legitimize in the eyes of the people who are currently mad about it, you don't understand people. I'm mad that she's a mutant because she's not a mutant. She's an inhuman. She's an inhuman. And you can retcon it so that she's a mutant, and that's great. And she's still an inhuman. And you can retcon Wanda Maximoff and Quicksilver not being Magneto's kids, and that's great. And they're still Magneto's kids. Like, you can retcon things that are you can retcon things that are stupid or don't make sense. That's fine. I have no problem with that. When you're retconning things because you suck and you need to dig yourself out of a hole you've dug and you're choosing the path of least resistance, go fuck yourself with a cactus, man. Like, she's not a mutant. She's not a mutant.
Now, I know
she's not a mutant.
I don't know. So the backtrack here.
She could be both. She could be an inhuman and a mutant. I'm cool with that.
I know the original idea was for her to be a mutant, but unfortunately, because of laws or whatever, or feuds, whichever the hell you want to talk about, that's the reason why it didn't happen. Either way, she wasn't an inhuman.
Oh yeah,
there was no reason for you to go back and retcon her to being a mutant now.
Solve the problem easily. Just make Mutant her and Jubilee in a 2-person show. This way, no one will watch it. No one. Just Jubilee and Ms. Marvel. Jubilee and Ms. Marvel. Gosh. Go ahead. Make it. Make that. I dare you. I double dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time. Like, It was because Perlmutter is a dumbass. Yep. Was a dumbass, is a dumbass, will continue to be a dumbass. Ike Perlmutter was brilliant at one thing, making action figures. Because Ike Perlmutter owned the toy company that tied in with Marvel. That's why Marvel's comics were promotions for their toys. And that's why Marvel toys were always the most important thing. Ike Perlmutter had too much control over something that he had no business having control over, as is the way of the world. That's just what happens. Kevin Feige lost a lot of control over Phase 4 because he was spread too thin, and Bob Iger recognized that immediately, and that was also under Bob Chapek, who Giga Cuck. So Iger came back. Yeah. And they a couple of people tried to vote Iger out, and it failed like heavily in the last meeting. They're like, it failed heavily. And a lot of people are giving Iger shit for it, and they're like, well, actually, it was Iger the whole time. Like, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Because Iger was in charge of the Marvel Universe for its entirety up to Endgame. Mm-hmm. It was up to Endgame's finish, like when it finished. And Chapek took over around that time. When all of those things were done, if you're talking football, right, and you have a 5-score game, you could go ahead. Like you're ahead by 5 scores going into the fourth. Mm-hmm. You can go ahead and bench your starting quarterback. You can go ahead. You could put him down. You could put your other guy in, right? Like you could put your other guy in and just run the ball and throw check downs and stuff. Like protect your lead at this point. Like you don't have to risk your stuff. So there was nothing that anyone had to do. It was the entirety of Phase 4 and all of these reshoots you've heard about and all of these other stories you've heard about. That was Chapek. And then Chapek left. Chapek's the guy who was already there on Star Wars. Like there's a reason the Marvel fans are starting to get like, and the Star Wars fans have all but fucked off. Like there's a reason for that. There's a reason like Star Wars Theory on YouTube is the #1 Star Wars channel. Star Wars Theory. That dude's great. Because he's the only person that's still talking about Star Wars the way the people who like Star Wars want to talk about Star Wars.
Which is basically crapping on Star Wars because it hasn't been good recently.
Well, no, he just ignores it. He's like, this shit's dog shit. Let's talk about the stuff that didn't suck. Like, and we just talk about.
But he does highlight the things that are not good. You know what I mean? He doesn't like shy away from it.
Yeah, he's not New Rockstars where they're like, where they have to. Screen Crush is a little bit better than New Rockstars in that. New Rockstars is literally like, if Iger spit in Eric Voss's face, he would use the spit to clean his glasses. Like he would be like, "Oh, you're right. My contacts were a little dry. Thank you." Like,
which to me, honest with you, they are a big enough channel where they don't need to do that, and they also could be critical.
Do you know how many people work for New Rockstars?
Too many.
12.
Oh, they could. I forgot that they laid off a lot of people. They laid off MT. Yeah, you're right.
MT was laid off. Eric. Who's the other guy? The Hispanic kid.
Tommy Beckel. They laid off.
Tommy Beckel. Tommy Beckel did something else too.
But they brought him back on. I think as like a freelancer. To be fair, so he's still there.
Tommy Beckel.
That was his name. Well, Jessica Clemens. She left, but then she's back now, right?
No, Jessica Clemens is she's like a.
But she's with the Ringer.
Part owner.
She's
like a part owner. I love Jessica Clemens. I love her. But she's also part of that Dropout TV crew too. Of like, and anyone on Dropout earns a piece of respect for me because I fucking love Dropout. I love everything they're doing. Thank you, Sam Rice. Watch Dimension 20 if you guys don't. It's $5 a month. Get Dropout. They don't sponsor me. Get them. They're worth every penny you will. If you pay for 1 month and watch everything and don't enjoy it, I'll give you the $5 back, man. Like it's not a big. It's so good. Arnold was a co-host on Star Wars Theory. Yeah, like because arguably Arnold is the only successful mobile game content creator.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Arguably, he's the only successful one. And that's like, Seaton used to be. Seaton doesn't matter anymore. But I think Arnold's the only successful one. And he's made a big too. Who?
Does
Seaton
still make content? Yeah. Okay.
Either way, like it's hard because I like their breakdowns, like New Rockstars and Screen Crush. Yeah. I like Screen Crush a lot more.
I think
here's the difference.
Job, yeah.
I like New Rockstars when they get a bunch of people to talk because I feel like the people they get to talk are good. They're good at communicating. I don't like Screen Crush. I like Colton, the guy in the TV that's perpetually trapped in there but don't tell him because he doesn't know, on Screen Crush. And there's one other person on Screen Crush, I don't remember their name right now, who I'm like, okay.
You're not a fan of Ryan Airy?
No, Ryan's the main character, the main guy. I love Ryan.
Okay, yeah.
Ryan I like, and Colton I like.
Colton, yeah.
But then they'll get like these videos where they'll get people in, and maybe they're just not good at speaking. Maybe they're just not good at articulating. Maybe they're just terrible people. I don't know. I'm not going to make that judgment. But every time there's like a group, like Ryan will come out and he'll be like, so I have a theory that this is where we're going to go with X-Men. And like everyone and like everyone just had, there's no chemistry. Like we have chemistry.
Yeah.
We fuck around. They don't have chemistry.
Yeah, but we know each other from before we started making content, so that kind of, I guess, factors into it a little bit. But I get what you're saying. I understand it. I think, and to be fair, I feel like this is something new that you're trying to do, right? They're trying to bring in more people on the channel, probably because of what New Rockstars has done with the break room. Because they have, I love the break room. You're only
thinking of the on-screen personalities. New Rockstars has like Screen Crush has 8 people working. That's an 8-person crew. New Rockstars has 12. Yeah. Only about 3 of the New Rockstars are like on screen, and only about 2.5 on Screen Crush are on screen personalities. Yeah, then they have like the people who watch the TV, the script writers, the editors, like. It takes a village kind of thing for these channels, and these channels are like, remember, Screen Crush is a website, so there are people that like write the thing, and that's what becomes a video. It was also like Screen Rant was one for a long time that gave us Ryan George, who's now one of the funniest guys on YouTube. It's just really hard to see that, like, you know, these 12 people, like, they get the episodes. Remember when I was on the Disney quote unquote payroll, where I was doing content for that stuff, they send me ahead of time. They said it was locked down, and they knew anything I was doing. They knew if anyone else saw it. They would be like, hey, that was you who leaked that. And I'm like, well, they knew, so that was very serious. But like, they get that shit ahead of time.
Voss and Clemens are really the only on-screen personalities. Everyone else is behind us.
Clemens is feeling a little bit better. She was a bit stiff at the beginning. Now she's a little bit more open. I dig her.
Well, I mean, you could tell both are reading from a teleprompter. I mean, you could see it whenever.
She killed me when she was pronouncing Bonobo. It killed me when she was talking about Planet of the Apes. Kingdom of the Apes. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And she was like, the Bonobo apes. And I was like, Bonobo. It's Bonobo. How did nobody... Bonobo. That's Bonobo. Please. You're killing me. Please stop. Who let her do this? Guys, someone could have stopped her. Someone.
Hey, listen. What can I say? I mean, you once again, I respect the hustle. I mean, there's no judgment in what we're saying. It's just more of a observation quickly as to what we're reviewing. But I watch all those channels. You know, them heavy spoilers. There's, you throw in Emergency Awesome. There's a lot of guys that are But Canadian Lad, I think, is another one too. So
Canadian Lad was really good and put a lot of work into his stuff and got a lot of he did my favorite series from Canadian Lad was the I watched it on like 1x like 0.5x speed and I found stuff and I'm like, bro, he did. And he did it alone. This dude watched Avengers Endgame at like 0.25x speed and was like, there, I saw something. I was like, hey, man. Did you catch that? No, of course we didn't, you sociopath. That's why we're watching your stupid fucking video. And we're liking and subscribing because you're a madman. You're a fucking madman.
Can you imagine? How long did it take for him to watch that damn movie in 22?
Oh my god!
Speed,
with a magnifying glass and a notebook, he's just like, oh man, it's crazy. Emergency awesome. He's giving comics explained when he talks. You know what I mean? Like he's real like. So this is actually really cool because of this thing, and I'm like, dude, just You don't have to, like, you're at a 14, go to a 9, my guy. You don't gotta be a 5. Just on the like, because he'll like. I think
it's a thing where like, and you know me, like I get caught up in this too, where I'm like, I need to show how excited I am about a thing, or maybe I need to make this XYZ thing exciting. When in reality, it's like. It was exciting, but it was really like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
and I should really respond like it's a 7 out of 10, as opposed to it being like an 11 out of 10, and that's how I'm responding back to it. So I'm learning too. Yeah,
you have to read the room. The one thing I always will watch from new rock stars, always, is the breakdowns.
Yeah,
when 100%. they just did an entire run of the X-Men movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I almost wanted to mute it, but because in between, like, sometimes the breakdowns were putting up real points. It was like, this is actually really good. But they are using, they're the same logic that people now you see. My issue with Rob from Comics Explained, Jay, is not, he's a great voice and he does a great job. He is wrong. His synopsis is wrong all the time. He is often wrong about what's happening in the comics. That's my problem with Rob. Like, I don't care. His energy is great. I love what he's doing. I love that he gets it to a readable point. I love that he's like, here, you got 12 minutes. I'll give you the entire story. He makes massive mistakes. And I'm not like a long time ago, years ago, I commented, I was like, dude, you were wrong. Like, that's not what happened. This is what happened. I got downvoted so far into fucking oblivion that I could literally see my asshole from the inside. It was crazy. And I wasn't even saying it was shitty. I was like, actually, dude, like, that's not what happened in that comic series. It was more like, it didn't happen because of that. It was this and this happened because in the previous comics, this. No, I'm wrong. Good fucked.
Oh man.
But, and again, it's the same as the reverse. Me and Goofy talk about this all the time. Because like I said, I know Ben, comic historian. I appreciate what Ben does, but that effort, it feels like it's wasted because he reads the comics to you in a like a voice actor, yeah. And I appreciate it, but a lot of times all I really want is
it's just the information.
You know, I'll tell you, I'll give you a synopsis. You got 10 minutes. There's not a single comic series I can't sum up in 10 minutes. There are comic series where 10 minutes will only let me tell you the basis. But there are like, and then I have to go into like a more in-depth one. But 10 minutes is more than enough. Yeah, it's very polarizing. I don't. Nobody has time to read back comics. Nobody does.
It's not my cup of tea personally, but I do appreciate what he does. Comic historian.
Yeah,
it's just like I said,
variant comics. Variant comics.
I really like variant comics too. I really
and casually comics.
But I do like comic historian too, because I do feel like there are some comics where I'm like, I don't have that time to read it, and it's nice to hear him kind of give that full story.
I'll put it into perspective.
It's like I've already read that comic, and I just kind of want him to just kind of want to see like if he had the same perspective on it that I do, and I'm like, oh, this is what his style is.
I'll put it this way. I will watch variant or casually on my computer on like a separate screen as I'm doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
I will listen to comic historian as I'm laying in bed.
Yeah, that's the right characterization. If I were to say so, yeah.
If I wanted, like, I used to listen to a lot of audio novels, because you know I had an Audible, because thanks Amazon, Amazon gave me like a year of Audible free when I was sponsored by them. So I was like,
good old times. I was there with you. I was there with you, my friend.
Yeah. So like I was like, sure, I'm gonna use this Audible, and I would listen to books that I love, like books I've read before, but just listening to the story, because I could read a book way faster than I can listen to a book, but I don't often have. But I can listen to a book I've read before while like kind of focus at playing a game or doing, you know, laying down with decompressing from the day. That's what I like comic historian for. That's what I really appreciate them, because they give me the story in a way that I can take in. And honestly, I mentioned it a long time ago, and happy he's doing it now. Like, make 3-hour sleep videos, dude. Make 3-hour sleep videos and don't put a single commercial on for the first like 25-30 minutes of your 3-hour video, because that's usually how long people will listen before they pass out. And then put all the power, like, commercial adpocalypse that shit, because like you're sleeping, you're not turning it off, your phone's on the charger, you're not worried about that, you know, like you're out, like what that commercial, you're not going to wake up in the middle of the night to hear about a Pantene Pro V ad. Like, okay, it's the same thing when you leave your TV on. Like, the commercials don't inherently wake you up. It's usually the lights or the changes or something. So like, yeah, just leave it on and go to sleep.
His Old Man Logan and Dead Man Logan full story is like 4 hours long. I've seen that go from like 30,000 views to 60,000. It's now at like 90,000 views right now over the past 2 weeks, and it's because it's a 3-hour story. And you're right. Like, listen, I'm not gonna turn that on. I'll put that on. I'll listen to it. And I'll be like, oh shoot, I gotta go back to that.
Who has 3 hours? If you have 3 hours to watch a YouTube video, I love your life. I'd love to trade places. I don't. I rarely do I have more than like 10 or 15 minutes. The only YouTube videos that are that long that I watch are like Magic the Gathering content creators that just put out like this is me playing in a run, and they're talking it through, Bosch and Roll, Aspiring Spike. Like, I'll watch them, but it's comics are weird. Like, it's just a hard thing because, well, Jay, like, my mom's on disability. Trust me, I know. Like, I know what it's like. Like, 3 hours to watch a whole. I can watch a YouTube video for 3 hours. I just don't want to. Like, there's something else I want to do. I promise.
I'll put that sucker on in the background. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if I'm working or if I'm with the kids or something like that, and I'm like in the living room, and I'll put my headphones in and I'll listen to 20-minute increments. Basically, that's what it is, right? That's what
25
I get, right?
minutes. Is the upper limit of a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Anything longer than that, I feel like I have to dedicate time to it, or I'm gonna have to come back to it. And that's, if I have to come back to it, I'm going to forget.
Hey, I did my very first comic book breakdown video, this week, right?
So did I.
Which was,
so did I, Jack.
Which was I forgot what it was. It was like the Fatal Attraction storyline or whatever the case was. And I was just like, this is 23 minutes. It was long. I would prefer if it was like 15 minutes, but I realized that, like, hey, you know what? There are some people who will probably appreciate going through the entirety of the story. it's just about what do you feel? You know what I mean? Well, how does the viewer find you? It all depends, right? It's ultimately about what exactly is pertinent to the viewer at that point in time.
Right now, there is no goodwill in Star Wars specifically. So if you're going to be a person who is like, yo, did you see the Acolyte trailer? It looked great. You're going to say that, and that's going to attract significantly more problems than it is like minds.
Yeah.
I watched the Acolyte trailer, and my honest opinion of it was, all right. Like, I was, oh, okay. Like, the only Star Wars content I'm taking in right now is Mando. Ahsoka was not enjoyable to me, and I loved all of Rebels, and I loved all of Clone Wars. I did not enjoy Ahsoka. So I don't know who that was for, because that should have been for me, and it wasn't. And I'm like, if I don't like it, if I don't enjoy it, and I love the source of that, who was this for? And I don't mean like we're nitpicking 97, right? Like, I don't mean like there was parts that, like, I from soup to nuts, there was only about 2 things I enjoyed in the entirety of Ahsoka. It was the bad guy who is dead, so meh. And it was the 10 minutes where Ezra returned at the first point. Balin Reed, I don't know.
Who cares? He was good. I liked him. Whatever, right?
Bad Batch. I actually liked the first season of Bad Batch.
I'm a Star Wars fan. I haven't really been able to get into Star Wars. We've talked about this, but you've mentioned that you've given me you gave me homework on where I should start with Star Wars, and if I am able to get through that start, then it would make sense to go to the next point. So
like, look at it like this.
I had that written down already.
Spoilers. All of Star Wars is terrible. Movies. All of it. None of it's good. No, okay, so it's all bad.
Endorsement. All right.
It's all bad. Like, it is just poorly written schlock. All of it. Every aspect. Except the extended universe of Star Wars. Because that's where people, like, really laser focused on something and thought it through and played it out.
Okay.
Which is why I like Dave Filoni a lot at that time. I'm not sure how I feel about him now, but I liked him a lot at that time. Because that dude was like, we're going to do it. This is what I care about. We're going to tell the story. And if you ever listen to something, Sam Witwer, the voice actor for Darth Maul and several other people, phenomenal, like, Star Wars historian.
Okay.
Like, really gets Star Wars, like, a huge fan, follows it, understands it at different levels, understands that, like, not everything has to be exactly the same, because the entirety of Star Wars, this is the beauty of Star Wars, it all takes place kind of like word of mouth.
Huh. Okay.
Like, all of Star Wars is, with the exception of the canon movies, the 9 actual movies, all of Star Wars are basically stories that are being retold in this universe. That's why when Star Wars starts, it says a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Okay. It's not a live thing that's happening now. It is a retelling of something that happened. So when things are slightly different, it gets the feel that this is being told. And one thing I'll give credit for is the new trilogy, the most recent, the sequel trilogy. They kind of nailed that, because they started having people talk about Luke Skywalker as if he was a god, and they showed us that he was a dude. And that nailed that idea, because the legend of Luke Skywalker was significantly more powerful than the being of Luke Skywalker. how they chose to show how Luke wasn't that powerful, that was a little meh. But again, Star Wars in general, there's the original trilogy, which is a very decent self-contained story that goes off the rails a little bit, but you could still feel, you know, they used what they had, which was like they had character drama, and the entire idea of the original Star Wars movie is that it could be a silent film. Not like without music, but like without words. Like, and you can watch the Star Wars movie with like very few words or just like subtitles that just say like where you are, what's happening, and you can get the feeling. You can understand when something important is happening because the music, it's so well done. The prequel trilogy, and I cannot stress this enough, was the worst thing that's ever happened to anything ever.
That's where I picked up on it. So that was like the Samuel L. Jackson type of movie. And that was my first introduction into Star Wars films. And people were telling me, they were like, yeah, well, that was probably not the best direction for you to go in because unfortunately, those are kind of the worst parts of Star Wars. And I was like, well, because of that, I don't really have a desire to go any further because they suck.
They were, I think the prequel trilogies had a phenomenal story in Star Wars. Like, the story was there. Mm-hmm. The poor director.
Got you.
George Lucas did a terrible job of directing that story. And in the original Star Wars, he had he was playing with other people's money. So they were like, hey, no. He was like, I have an idea. We're going to do this. And they're like, no. And he's like, all right, how about this? And they're like, okay. At the time they made the prequels, he was Memento Moriing himself, you know, like he was Caesar. Like everybody was like, this is George Lucas. He created Star Wars. He's a genius. Like, no, the dude is a creative. Like, and it took some sane people to reel in the craziness to get what we got. And even then we got Return of the Jedi, which was fucking wild.
Right.
The original prequel trilogy, if you sum it up simply, it is the story of the hubris of a successful religion, like governmental religion, basically. Their hubris in believing that they were strong enough to fight anything. And if you travel through that, you can understand how those movies were supposed to end and how they were actually built out. We didn't need to see Darth Vader at the end of Revenge of the Sith because he didn't need to become Darth Vader he was Darth Vader as Anakin. He didn't need to become the robot of himself at that point. But that needed to happen because at some point somebody was like, well, it would make no sense if he's not in the suit. We didn't see Luke finish his fucking Jedi training, but we accepted the fact that when he was in robes with the green lightsaber, the dude figured it out. They took away and they started spoon feeding because, again, they're trying to make these movies for kids. They're trying to make these movies.
I was going to say, it feels like, I'm going to step away for a second, but it feels like they were trying to make these movies for a different type of audience than what they made the movies for in the first place. And it feels kind of a little bit like what Disney's doing a little bit with their Marvel movies. But I'm going to step away. You go ahead.
I'll finish the Star Wars thought while you're gone, and then we'll go back to MCU rumor stuff.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, like, the prequel trilogy would have been a great story, providing, like, two tiny little changes. Like, one, Darth Maul doesn't die. Darth Maul fails, is jettisoned by, and again, we know he didn't die, but like, that doesn't matter. That was other people fixing a problem. Darth Maul isn't killed. He fails to defeat both of the Jedi. Right? He kills Qui-Gon, but doesn't get the last one and runs away. His failure means he is attempted to, like, he is exiled by Palpatine, and he becomes the bad guy in charge instead of Dooku. We didn't need any of Count Dooku. Count Dooku could have been working for the Sith the whole time. He didn't need to exist. The Maul and tracking Maul and Anakin throughout 3 movies makes Anakin have a corollary to see what happens. Because if Maul didn't kill Qui-Gon, Anakin probably would not have fallen to the dark side. Maul needed to be there to be the constant reminder to Anakin of the fact that the person who believed in him was killed. Anakin goes through movie 2 and movie 3. At the beginning of movie 3, he finally kills Maul instead of Dooku. He finally kills Maul. Now he has completed his journey, but he did not do so in a way that would have been right. So now he believes, I've avenged the guy, which is not the Jedi way. Avenging, we don't avenge, we don't revenge. We use the Force. Palpatine has been like fucking with him the whole time. Dooku's in the back shadows, just doing some random stuff. Obi-Wan kills Dooku in like a separate scene somewhere. Right? Two bad guys, whatever. Nope. The entire time they think Dooku is the Sith Lord. That's the whole thing. Nobody sees Palpatine coming. It is the scariest moment of reveal. Because they showed up in the last movie, in the third movie, they showed up in Palpatine's office 3 Jedis deep, and he's like, eat shit, motherfuckers! And he just killed they show up 3 Jedis deep, and he kills 2 of them in a second. No. It needed to be that they always thought it was Dooku. He left, he fell, he was clearly the bad guy, and Maul was his apprentice. Because they even said, which one did we kill, the apprentice or the not? Then they figured out, either Maul was the big bad or Dooku was the big bad the whole time. That's why he went to the Sith, he killed his lord, he trained Maul, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. Perfect story. The entire time Palpatine was pulling all the strings. By the time they realize it, it's too late. He is now killing Jedi. Order 66 happens before they figured it out. Mace Windu still gets to show off against him. He 1v1s. Anakin still goes, what are you doing? But now, he doesn't have that stupid fucking line of like, he has to stand trial, because he doesn't have to stand trial. Because if he had to stand trial, so did Dooku, or in this case, Maul. But he didn't stand trial. Anakin doesn't say dumb shit. Anakin just solves the problem. Anakin goes, you can't kill him. That's treason. Lawful evil. Anakin is now lawful evil. Anakin the entire time has been chaotic. Does whatever he fucking wants. This is the moment where Anakin becomes lawful evil. Not lawful good. Lawful evil. Goes, you cannot kill him. He is the senator, what is it? The what was he at the time? Chancellor? Yeah, he was the Chancellor. He wasn't the Emperor. He was the Chancellor. Or was he the Emperor at that point? No, he was the Chancellor. He didn't reorganize it until after that scene when the Jedi attacked. Now he goes, you cannot kill the Supreme Chancellor. That is treason. It doesn't matter that he's a Sith Lord. It doesn't matter that he's a Sith Lord. The Jedi are seeing things in black and white. Anakin sees things in shades of gray, just like he would have with Qui-Gon, except he is leaning towards the darker of the gray. He stops Mace Windu from committing treason. He takes his responsibility as Lord Vader. Moves on. That what I just said solves the entirety of the first movies. And fuck, they can remake those. They can go ahead and remake them. There's nothing stopping them. They could be like, we're gonna remake those movies right now. We're gonna go in. We're gonna keep the story. We're gonna tweak it a little bit to make it right. Anyone who liked the old ones, shut the fuck up. You're gonna like these better. They're not gonna, because they can't, because they're stupid. But those are the ones they can. Anyway, what's up, Goofy? I finished my story with no spoilers to you. MCU rumor roundup: Spider-Man 4 to feature alien suit. Big update on Midnight Suns and Young Avengers. Okay, cool. Let's see. San Diego Comic-Con and D23, which is D23 is soon.
When is that? When is D23?
This year, D23 is summer. What does that mean?
Okay.
Summer.
That's not yet.
Spider-Man 4 is supposed to start shooting this fall, and it should be in theaters next year.
Okay.
The piece of Venom that was left on Earth at the end of No Way Home is going to be the story.
Okay.
Peter is in an incredibly dark place right now on account of nobody knows who he is.
All of his friends, yeah.
Yeah. Losing everything, trying again. And probably, if their tie-ins are correct, the Kingpin becoming the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be drawn by the symbiote. The symbiote's going to be drawn to him. It's been crawling one thing like a slug from what I could only assume is Tijuana all the way to New York, straight from because he was in Mexico. I know he was in Mexico because he had the hat.
Yeah.
He was in Mexico when he came over.
So he's in that hotel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in a bar in Mexico. So I think that for the last, I mean, I don't know how long it would take a slug to get from there to New York City, but probably about 2 years. Probably about 2 years.
Oh, man.
Maybe I'm sick of getting you locked up and having you just get out again. Maybe I take care of you right now. Yep.
Where's that from?
Yeah. No, just... Oh, do you want to know?
Yeah.
All right. How do I open this in a new tab? There it is. This is Peter having just ever-loving fucked up Kingpin. Here's what's going to happen. I pour a stream of webbing deep into your throat, your esophagus, all the way down into your lungs, filling them completely. The only way to remove it is surgically would be to cut out your lungs, which you could not possibly done before you die of lack of oxygen. I turn your entire respiratory system into one big solid chunk of useless tissue and webbing. It'll take 3 seconds. This is what happens. This is not Peter under any influence. This is when he finds out, after the events of Civil War, that Kingpin is the one who hired the assassin that took a shot at him and hit Aunt May.
Okay.
And he did this in a prison as Peter, beat the shit out of the Kingpin. Look how big the Kingpin's hand is bigger than Pete. Like, beat the ever-loving shit and said, I will kill you so fucking fast. So absolutely fast that there's nothing anyone can do to stop me.
I respect it.
Maybe I'm sick of having you act up just to get out again. Pete's a crazy motherfucker. So, I like to see that. In other news, it said Marvel Studios' Young Avengers project will begin shooting at the start of 2025 with Haley Steinfeld tapped to play Kate Bishop. Yeah, but that has to be a TV show because that can't be a fucking movie.
No.
Finally, for you horror fans, we're hearing the current ideas for cameras to start rolling on Midnight Suns. Nobody wants a Midnight Suns movie.
I don't know who's pushing this agenda for Midnight Suns.
I'm just gonna say it for everybody. The Marvel, you've done so good for so long, for a good decade, of taking stuff that a lot of people might not have cared about and making them care about it. And then for the last 4 or 5 years, you've taken stuff that people would care about and made them hate it. Not everybody. There's still plenty of people that like it. Agreed, TLC. But you fucked up. You fucked up. Now is not the time. I would drink her bathwater. Yes, I would drink Haley Steinfeld's bathwater. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Now is not the time to try. Now is the time to what's called damage control. Now you put the things out that everyone's going to like again so you can build back up to Guardians. You have to do that now. You don't have that goodwill anymore because you had that goodwill and then you shit on it and then you took that shit and you turned it into a donut and then you fed it to people. And for every person, this is real. For every person that liked it, there was 3 that didn't. And historically, you can tell that because nobody spent fucking money on it. That's all it comes down to. At the end of the day, if you want something to be good, it has to be profitable. Yeah. You can make something unique, inclusive, whatever you want. But also make it good. It doesn't get, like, you can't just be Sense8. Sense8 was a show that focused heavily on the LGBTQ community. And it was one of the first shows that, like, overtly did it. So it was like, you know what? It was fine. It was fine. It was good. It was even good. It wasn't great. It was good. But you heard about, I know everyone's heard about it. Whether you've watched it or not, you know you've heard of Sense8 because there was an entire, like, years of people talking about it. Was it great? No, absolutely not. But it was good, and it was the first. And because it was the first time that it was done well, it worked. You can't just keep, like, for lack of South Park references, you can't just keep pandering. Because the people you're pandering to also have to be spending money. If you're gonna make a movie to a group of people that spend money, you have to make the movie they want to see.
Right.
And it doesn't inherently mean you have to avoid things. Like, you don't have to avoid anything. Just tell a story right. Make it good. Make it enjoyable. Make it interesting. Deadpool and Wolverine is a crazy idea that we didn't see coming until they told us. We knew Wolverine was going to be in it. We didn't know this is what was going to happen. Right. None of us knew it was going to be a Deadpool and Wolverine team-up movie.
Right.
At best, we thought maybe Wolverine would show up for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. That was ours, but honestly, I would have been fine with that if he just showed up and then, like, him and Deadpool fought for 5 minutes. I'd be like, oh, okay.
Cool. One character we do not expect to show up on the team is Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight. We don't know if there'll be a second season.
Huh?
What do you mean? It was the best show. It was it was the show that, like, even the shitty parts of the show didn't suck that much that were like, eh. It was like, okay. I'd have done it differently. I could have done without it, but it was fine. It was the best show. Hawkeye Season 2 has been greenlit. That's insane to me. There is no reason for a Hawkeye Season 2.
What are we doing in Season 2? That hasn't already been covered in Season 1. Is Season 2 just Haley's? Just Haley? Is that it? Is just her? Because what else are we talking about?
I mean, again, I drink tea with her tampons in it, but, like, doesn't inherently mean I'm going to watch an entire series about it. I might, but I might, with the end credit scene of the Marvels, really be into a Young Avengers TV series, because that can't be a movie, because those people can't be in movies. I love Haley Steinfeld. You seen her act? You seen her in Pitch Perfect 2 and 3? Nah, not in my America.
She was okay in Bumblebee.
Would I watch Kate? But Yelena's already in the movies now. Would I watch, if they weren't stupid, would I watch one with, you know, Tommy and Billy? Yeah, Billy. Tommy and Billy? Would I watch a Young Avengers team kind of come together to face off against something?
Like
local
Iron Lad, something, you know, maybe. Well, I guess Iron Lad would be a part of the team, so never mind. That's not a good comp. But you get my point. Ish.
Sony boss Tom Rothman, a name I've never heard of before and probably will never hear of again, teases huge significant plans for Spider-Man 4 and Venom: The Last Dance. Also, we'd have no idea what's going on with Venom: The Last Dance. There's so radio silence on this movie.
Big time. Which I assume is because they're trying to figure out exactly what's going on with Spider-Man 4.
I don't know, because they've managed to make the first 2 Venom movies without touching Spider-Man 4 or
That's
being
fair.
The first Venom movie was close, man. It was so close to good. It was so close. I'll still watch it. Like, if it's on, I'll be like, all right. I can't watch Let There Be Carnage.
The second movie.
It's terrible.
If
you wasted Woody Harrelson in the perfect casting. Like, we can never get that again.
No,
you only get one shot to make a first impression, and now we have the worst Woody Harrelson Carnage ever, and I can never unsee it.
I wonder how he feels about being portrayed in this light in a role. There has to
probably
be,
the same way that Jared Leto and Dakota Johnson felt.
Christian
and
Bale.
probably the same way Aaron Taylor Johnson is going to feel. Sony refuses to make the rated R movies. They refuse to. And they're choosing rated R topics that they can't make rated R.
Yeah.
If you're like, that's their problem. They don't have to make them rated R.
On Madam Web.
They don't have to make Venom rated R. They can absolutely make Venom rated PG-13. They didn't. They made Venom rated R, cut out all the R scenes, and was like, close enough, right?
Yeah.
Venom doesn't have to eat someone's brains on screen. He has to, and then this, and then you cut to a side screen, and then blood spatter.
Right.
That's rated PG-13. That's not gore. That's just like, he ate that dude's brains. I get it.
Now it's over. Ish.
I have no idea what's going on there.
Carnage should have been amazing. It should have been, yeah.
5 awful multiverse saga creative decisions Marvel Studios needs to fix before Avengers 5. Before we look at this list, what do you think's on it?
Well, it's hard for me to ignore Doctor Strange and the freaking eye in the middle of his head that he never was supposed to get.
Smartest man in the world, Wanda. Behold, Black Bolt can kill you with his mouth. Captain Marvel has a shield. Or Captain Marvel has space powers. I will tell you the weaknesses of all of the people. I am made of elastic. Like,
yeah.
Smartest man in the world, everybody. Yo, that universe is fucked. Like, I'm just thinking about it.
Yo, what is it? 818? 818 is
838.
818. 838 needs to be pruned.
No, it's dude.
Well, then again,
all of the Illuminati are dead.
Yeah,
all of the Illuminati are dead, and there are a bunch of Ultron bots running around. That planet's fucking gone.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, it's pretty much basically done. What else could I think about here?
No one survived. There are no heroes left. Pizza Papa stopped punching himself. He's the last hero. It was all a dream?
Seems pretty dumb, honestly, now that you think about it. Like, the multiverse, it was cool, the cameos, yes. But, like, the whole idea of that happening seemed like it wasn't necessary.
So, Secret Invasions, we're going to go with that one, right?
Is that a multiverse event?
I'm just saying, Secret Invasion is a multiverse saga decision they made, right?
See, I was thinking about multiverse.
No, this is saga. This is during phase 4 and phase 5.
Saga
Secret Invasion's gotta go.
Much
Fever Dream.
It's much more open. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Fever Dream. Nick Fury had a dream. And you know what? I'll be like, bet. Sold. That has to happen. That has to be on this list. Period. Because they're also just retconning. They've already announced that they're retconning that order of like aliens are not allowed on this planet. That the president, all of it didn't happen
in Captain America. Yeah.
None of it happened. None of it. The Skrulls are still around. Like, none of it happened.
Thor, Love
that's
and Thunder. Yeah, Thor, Love and Thunder would be another one for me, because what was the point of introducing Gore the God Butcher that didn't provide the destruction and devastation that a butcher of gods would have needed to? In that,
the first person to reach eternity was granted a wish. And Gore the God Butcher's wish was to bring back his daughter.
Not to get rid of all the gods.
Not to bring back all of the people that died in the name of gods. Which immediately makes him a Thanos level villain. Right?
Right, yeah. That's fair.
Depowering all the gods, not even killing them. Gods are no longer powered.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Bring back my daughter. With what? With what? With this weapon that only existed recently? You needed to use the Bifrost to open the gate to her.
Yeah.
Previously, the only person who could have done that was Odin. And by extension, Heimdall.
Yeah.
Gore, Love, and Thunder, I don't feel like it was bad, but I don't know if they can afford to retcon it.
Yeah. But that will definitely be on the list. Secret Invasion.
Kang didn't die at the end of Quantumania. He got sent somewhere. He got sent to the end of time. That's one.
Is that where he went? Who knows?
He better have. That's what needs to be fixed. He better have. I don't know. What else? Anything else?
I'm trying to think.
Wanda?
Wanda seemed fine.
Where the fuck's Vision?
I was gonna say Wang Wu dying kind of bothered me, but Vision is not a bad one.
Where the fuck's Vision?
He just like flew out and never came back.
Giant marble statue. Giant marble statue. Tiamat.
Is that who it is? Tiamat? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. She-Hulk's fourth wall breaks. That's so low on my list of giving a fuck that I don't give a no. The first time I'm ever gonna defend She-Hulk, dude. That didn't matter. No, incorrect. The multiversal war is Ant-Man's fault. No, it has to be.
Jane Foster's death. Ew, no.
No, that was fine. She got a great death. Yeah, she got a great death. Her death was dope. What do we need her again? We need her again. We need this character again. The character whose entire job in the first two movies she was in was be annoying and want to sleep with Thor. Fuck this character. Fuck this character. I love the actress. I love the character in the comics. Fuck this girl. Fuck her. Let her stay dead.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange's third eye? We have a problem with the third eye? The fucking thing that showed us he's corrupted by the Darkhold? Comic book, who wrote this? Who wrote this? Find this person and shame. Josh Wilding. Shame on you, Josh Wilding. We're gonna send dozens of people at you.
Remember that was the first thing I said. I was like, well, I assume it's gonna be that because that's the first thing that we're showing on the article. So I assume it's gonna be that.
Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness is a better movie than many fans give it credit for. Incorrect. It has the correct amount of credit that it got, which is it was fine to okay. In fact, it usually seems to get a hard time simply for not living up to expectations set up by the wild rumors about character cameos. Okay. Nope. That had nothing to do with it. This list is wrong, and whoever wrote it needs to stop being a writer. Peter Parker, no more. Why would they undo the coolest fucking thing? The only thing that made... I'm mad.
Please proceed. I just want to understand what's going on.
This worked within the context of the movie, but many know stick about it. At least part of the reason the world forgot about Peter Parker was in case No Way Home was Marvel Studios' final Spider-Man movie.
No, but this made right what he did to screw it up in the first place.
But also, this was the plan the whole time. Oh no, is my lighter dead? That sucks.
Oh,
how do I solve this conundrum? What do I do when I can't use a lighter?
By the way, there are 45,000 people streaming Marvel Rivals right now. Or watching Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, and the game's not coming out for a year. Crazy.
Impressive.
All right, I have to go steal a lighter. I'll be back.
Okay.
Here, finish your thoughts on why this list is trash while I find a lighter.
So I just feel like this list doesn't really highlight any of the major issues within the multiverse saga, right? Secret Invasion was one of them, which was a awful series. Probably the No, it is. It is the worst series that the MCU has ever created. Nothing in that series made sense to me. The very ending of it about, any aliens that are on this planet no longer are not welcomed. So now we're declaring war against them. So we're declaring war against the Asgardians. Do we really want to go down that rabbit hole? Do we really want to bring in Thor? Do you really want to fight Thor? Do we really want to do that? So Secret Invasion was insanely stupid. That was the very first one.
Yeah, the fact that Secret Invasion isn't on this list is a sin unto the Lord.
Yeah. The whole Doctor Strange thing about him having the third eye. Granted, I don't agree that he should have had the third eye this fast. However, it does seem like more of a consequence than a gift. So I'm okay with that. So don't take it away because he's effed up. He effed with basically the zombie world, whichever one you want to, whatever you want to call it. And now this is his consequence. I don't understand why we would want to get rid of that. I don't get it. That's not something that I want to get rid of. Thor: Love and Thunder, how the hell do you not have that on the list? That could have set up so much more stakes than what it actually did. Instead, you gave us, once again, because the whole tie-in with Thor is that you could have made Eternity. So I would not probably do a very good job of explaining Eternity, but you have Eternity, you have Infinity, you have all these beings, the Watcher. They're like on the same level. And you kind of made Eternity. I just added Infinity and Eternity, who are brother and sister, but whatever. Point is, you kind of diluted the impact of Eternity by making it so that Gore the God Butcher could then bring back his daughter. Not considering in context that Eternity could have essentially done anything else that Gore wanted to do, which could have reset the balance between gods, could have also made tie-ins to the Celestials. Because if you look at gods are supposed to protect the earth, right? Celestials have a specific mandate that they want to follow. You could have created more stakes with Celestials and gods that you didn't really explore in the saga. On top of the fact that then in Eternals, you then left this big ass Celestial that's just sitting there in the ocean, stuck. How do we not mention Tiamat? How do we not mention Eternity? How do we not mention Secret Invasion? This list sucks. Can I say it? This list sucks.
Go off.
This list seems as if though it was made by a child. In regards to what it is, that's Peter Parker. Parker.
Let's begin our shaming of Josh Wilding. What else has he written?
And listen, no offense to Joshua, he's probably a really great guy.
All right, well, we're gonna find out. Man. Maybe he's a piece of shit. Maybe he's a pedophile. We don't know anything about him. Let's find out.
All I have to say is that this list ultimately sucked. Peter Parker. People not know. This is what made Peter Parker grow the F up. Put on some big boy balls. Was this? Listen, you had a decision to make, Peter. You wanted to be selfish. You wanted to have your cake and eat it too. No, I want everybody to forget that I'm Peter Parker. You tampered with magic. You screwed up an entire universe. You're 616. This is the thing. They contained it, right? But do you understand that it's not just the spider world that he screwed up with bringing in Doc Ock, bringing in Green Goblin, bringing in all these other characters? It's not just that. How many other potential characters did he bring in from different universes or alternate universes into this world that we did not see? How many other people's realities were effed up because of his stupid ass decision? And then to make it right, he said, you know what? Let everybody forget about me. Because you know what? I screwed it up. This is my fault. I caused this. I should suffer the consequence, not everybody else. I'm gonna bite the bullet. You want to take that away? Why? That's such an important aspect of his character development. also it fits right in line with the simple fact that like Peter Parker always gets destroyed in the staircase.
That writer forgot the one rule about Peter Parker.
He always gets the short end of the stick, bro. That's what it is. It was perfect for the character. Doctor Strange getting the eye in the middle of his head is first and foremost, you are a cocky MFer who always thinks that your way is better than everybody else's way. You are now put in a position. He used the
Darkhold.
I'm getting to that.
The entire movie was don't use the Darkhold. He used the Darkhold. What's he gonna do? Just be like, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. I wonder why everyone else failed.
But that leans into the whole cockiness of Doctor Strange. I always have to be the one with my handle on the ship. I think what's her name? His love interest says it. Like you always have to be the one. Yeah, you always have to be the one holding the handle or some crap like that. Whatever she said. And she's right. Now, because you always think you're right, you're going to use the Darkhold, which you're not supposed to do, which everybody kept on saying. By the way, throughout the entirety of the movie, don't F with the Darkhold. And then now your consequence of effing with the Darkhold is that you have the eye in the middle of your head, which now means that you are corrupt.
We're forgetting something.
What are we forgetting?
A very important thing that happened in that movie that shouldn't have happened, but did. The only copy of the Book of Vishanti is gone. There's only one copy in the multiverse. It lives in a weird spatial between everything.
Yeah. It's like in limbo in a sense, but not limbo.
And Wanda burned it. It's gone. And then she destroyed all the Darkholds. So the only connection to Chthon right now, in all of reality, is our Doctor Strange.
Woo! If they do not pay that off, and I'm gonna be very pissed.
Yeah, what were they setting up with Clea? Hey, look, it's Charlize Theron. Hey, look, space. All right, what are we gonna do?
I'm sorry, I dropped my marker. If I do not see some explanation, some callback, some whatever the hell it is to that freaking eye in the middle of his head, to Clea going to go fix incursions. Let's call it. If Deadpool and Wolverine don't cause incursions, what the F is this movie for?
Snicked.
Like this movie, in my opinion, the Deadpool and Wolverine movie has to F up everything. Am I wrong? Like that's Deadpool. But they're using it as a redemption story for Wolverine too. That's the only caveat that I have towards it. They're using this as a redemption story to Wolverine. Because somehow they're probably going to have this Wolverine or a Wolverine be a key component in the Secret War story.
Half of them are dead. Half of them are dead, and half of them haven't even been introduced yet. So probably never.
Yeah. How long until we get the real Illuminati? We've missed so many comments. I can't even.
I've been reading
anymore. Until we get the real Illuminati.
Iron Man's dead. Captain America's gone. Beast doesn't exist. Reed doesn't exist yet. Professor X doesn't exist yet. Namor is fucking recuperating from his getting his ass whipped by some random chick. Who couldn't save her we're kid glovesing Black Panther.
That's not
we're kid glovesing really Black Panther. I'm not gonna bring it up.
It's not really bad. We gave him a pass. We gave him a pass. Okay. Ooh, boy. Okay. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth. If I wasn't giving Black Panther a pass, there's about 10 different things I could talk about where I'm like, well, that was dumb. I don't want to do it today. I don't want to do it today.
Remember when they decided to fight on water? The one place? Oh no! All these polar bears! We must defeat them in the Arctic Circle!
Yo!
I'm done. That was it.
What's the one place that we have the advantage? Water. Okay. All right. But we have vibranium.
Namor's choice was a bold one. I'm just gonna say, hey, I'm gonna fight her on this dried out beach instead of hovering over the ocean.
Wow.
And just throwing sharks. Just boom, boom, shark, octopus, shark, Giganto. Where was Giganto, man?
He was taking a break. He was trying to recover from the last battle, which I don't know which different one it was. Oh man. Wow. That was one of the things that I definitely me and Desi were from keeping the comment. That was like we did a video on like the 20th dumbest moments in the MCU, and that was one of them. Wakanda fighting them on water. that was by far one of the stupidest ones. For how smart they all are, some real dumb decisions that spent too much time around the U.S. government. They really did. Oh my gosh, my stomach hurts from that laugh. What were we talking about again?
Doctor Strange.
No, I could go on for hours talking about how dumb Doctor Strange was. Oh my gosh. So what does that say? Thunderbolt, 7 rumors and spoilers you need to know about. Here's the thing.
I'm eating pizza.
Why am I supposed to care about Thunderbolts again? I don't understand. What is their purpose at this point? Somebody tell me that this is just supposed to be a fun movie and I'm supposed to just go and enjoy it. Just tell me that. And then I'll change my perspective on what this movie is supposed to be about. Maybe my issue is that I've only read Thunderbolts comics in passing. I have never read anything specifically in detail about Thunderbolts. Maybe I'm the issue. You know what? The issue is me. It's my fault, guys. I'm sorry.
What about Ant-Man 3? We don't talk about Ant-Man 3.
We don't talk about Ant-Man 3. No. Wow.
Hold on.
Man, Ant-Man 3.
Hold on. I got you guys. You brought it up. This is what you asked for. This is what you're getting.
The best Marvel Star Wars movie. Honestly, that one. Corey Stahl. Corey. You know, that's a good point out. The best Marvel Star Wars movie ever. I was saying to myself, I'm like, when I was watching the movie, I was like, this looks really familiar, and I couldn't figure out what it was until when me and Desi went live. I think a couple days after, and we're like, yo, this was a Star Wars movie, bro. This looked like a Star Wars movie. Yikes! Wow.
Yo, my favorite part of that movie. My favorite part of that movie, man, Quantumania, is how we just had to experience the fact that Hank Pym, right, got to sit there as he met every single person Janet fucked. And then, you know, she fucked Kang. You know, she fucked Kang. That's not even close. Yeah. Like, it wasn't even adjacent to close. Like, they fucked.
Yeah, 100%.
You have a working human penis? Let's go.
Yeah. Let's do it. 100%. And nobody said anything. Nobody.
Can't wait for them to introduce us to Janet's kid from the fucking world that she left behind and forgot to mention.
Forget about it. I mean, listen, semantics.
Sentry's presence suggests there's more to the Thunderbolts than just that. Okay.
I mean, I guess.
We first meet Madam Hydra, I'm not going to read her whole name, in The Falcon Winter Soldier when she takes John Walker. Since then, the MCU's Nick Fury has sent Yelena. She is not the MCU's Nick Fury. She is a CIA operative.
The MCU.
To take down Hawkeye and try to get Wakanda's vibranium. The CIA director will have assembled her own squad of super soldiers. However, that's not all she's been up to. Rumor has the big bad will be a villain created by Al the Sentry. We're guessing he'll be the ultimate super soldier, only to perhaps become too powerful or need to be kept locked up because Robert Reynolds wasn't the intended recipient of the serum. Sounds like what will come as Val said as the movie's true villain is revealed. What exactly did she want? Being in charge of the CIA isn't enough for her. As is tradition, she is Madam Hydra. You don't get to pick a random character. Okay, Kang Dynasty. What's going on here? This is October 31st, 2023. We don't have to read this one.
Okay.
And just get this one little thing. Superman Legacy, 7 rumors and spoilers. Same guy, by the way. Apparently everything is written by Josh Wilding, just so you know.
Apparently.
And also a side note, Barbie star Ryan Reynolds responds to Kevin Feige endorsing him for MCU's Ghost Rider. I'm fine with Ryan Reynolds being Ghost Rider. That seems fine. Ryan Gosling, sorry, not Ryan Reynolds.
Right. I was going to say, like, why is Ryan Reynolds double dibble here?
Bring back that Kree woman for the Marvel. Yeah, we haven't gotten Gemma Chan in enough movies. Bring her back.
Yeah, why not?
Don't care.
You can continue to move on. Yep.
Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Brainiac is the true big bad. Yeah, whatever. Fuck you. All right, and the last thing I have brought up right now is that Deadpool and Wolverine's runtime is reportedly 2 hours and 7 minutes. Good.
It still feels kind of low, but okay. I'm good with that.
30 minutes of schlock, 30 minutes of end of final fight, and then a solid hour of fun Act 2 shit. I'm in.
Yeah. It should be good.
And I don't want to read Reddit comments because I'm not a degenerate, so we're just going to leave that there.
I mean, save your brain cells, bro.
Let's see what other Marvel Studios spoilers are on this. We're not discussing. Spider-Man 4 is slated to begin filming this fall. We already talked about that. Peter could die and come back from the dead in Spider-Man 4. Why? Midnight Suns, don't care. Young Avengers film. Why? Why?
Once again, like, why is that not a series instead of actually a movie?
No one's going to watch Young Avengers.
Yeah, there's not an audience that's gonna be interested in Young Avengers on a big screen. They're gonna more so want to do it in a Disney Plus series or shoot Hulu or whatever the hell it is, right? I would even say like to Disney, to a certain extent, like start releasing your stuff to other platforms, Netflix, Hulu, wherever else. Like that's where you're gonna have a better chance of. How many
Everyone
people
got
would watch
greedy,
Young
man.
Avenger? How many people would watch Young Avengers on Netflix? I would watch it on Netflix.
Netflix used to just pay them money to get access to their shows. And they're like, hey, we're going to make your money. And nobody is. Sony's buying Paramount Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Someone tried to buy Apple TV. I don't know who it was. Apple Plus. I think it was also Sony. I think Sony made a bid for it, and they turned it down. Peacock too. Peacock's nothing. Nobody cares about Peacock.
Okay.
Disney owns the two largest competitors to Netflix, and even then, they're not. They're nowhere near.
Disney, Hulu.
Yeah, you want exclusivity.
Yeah,
that's
Hulu.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it doesn't matter because Netflix is gonna kick the shit out of you every time. We talked about that before. Silk Spider Society series not going forward at Amazon. Great, nobody cares. Stuntman passed away. That sucks. 2 hours. So literally one of the test screening run times. A strong AMC might make another update, but don't put placeholders. No, I don't care. Ms. Marvel season 2 is being discussed. Well, I don't think you need that. Blade will be filmed specifically for IMAX screens. Why were you why? Marvel Studios looking for a man in his 20s for the lead role in Nova. On Bo DeMeo, yes, Morph was confessing romantic feelings for Logan. In other news, water is wet. Like, new picture from Agatha All Along. Panel shows the witches flying with brooms with the blood moon in the background. Great. This is the guy that got to play Sentry, shape-shifting powers, common attribute of his alter ego, the Void. Don't care. Hawkeye has been renewed for a second season. Clint's brother Barney will play a major role, and the season will be inspired by The Raid, with Kate and Clint stuck in one location. All right. Agatha All Along teaser.
All right.
I love Catherine Hahn.
Oh, she's great.
I love Aubrey Plaza.
She's great.
I don't give a shit about this. Do you know why I don't give a shit about this?
I mean, I could name probably a few different reasons, but go ahead.
Because what the fuck is it leading us into? It's just going to be a thing on its own?
Always.
I don't have time for that right now. I need to be excited for the future of this series. And I'm excited for X-Men 97's future. And I'm excited to see Deadpool. And I'm not excited for Blade anymore. And I'm not excited for Captain America. Even with the spoilers of Ruth.
I mean,
remember Ruth?
I don't necessarily know how one was supposed to be excited about that, to be honest with you. I mean, what are they just doing it because they said that they were going to do it anyways, and they put so much effort into it, so they're just going to release it?
I'm honestly convinced Agatha's probably going to be a fine show. I
don't think it's going to be bad. It's just one of those things where it's going to be like, I'm going to watch it and say to myself, well,
not everything has to be tied in, right? Not everything has to be, but like,
but there's been too many things.
There's
that have
too many
not.
questions. There's too many questions left right now. Like, we don't know. Like, hype's important. Hype is real. Hype is what makes you interested in what's coming and keeps you on the hook for more. I'm hyped for a lot of things. I'm hyped for the Boys season. I'm so hyped for the Boy. I think we brought this up last week. I'm so hyped for the next season of the Boys that I just recently, for the first time, watched Gen V and was like, this show is great.
Yeah.
This show is great. And I just never, like, it was just never on my radar. Like, I think I heard about it once and was like, oh, I should check that out. But as you know, generally speaking, I do not watch episodic content if I can avoid it. I wait for the end of it to be live. I just don't have the patience. A lot of people aren't telling stories in that way anymore. They just, Teak hit a pretty good point there. They need to just call them Marvel Saga so people know the difference. Yeah, give them a title. Give them a title. Like, they tried it with, what was the show they did? Or was it a show? Was it a movie? Like, there are things that, like, Moon Knight didn't have to tie into anything, and it didn't tie into anything. But we knew it took place in that world. We knew it took place in that world. We knew what was going on, and honestly, I don't ever have to see another person in Moon Knight, and I don't have to see Moon Knight anywhere else. You keep telling me that story, it's going to be great. But you can't be, I don't like when you're finite on something, when you're definitive on something. If you're like, Moon Knight will never get involved, well, fuck you. Like, don't say that, because now you're saying that something can never happen, and that takes away possible. Imagine if somebody had said, Loki's only going to be the bad guy once. We're never going to see him again. Like, then we would have missed out on, like, all of Thor Ragnarok Loki.
Right.
The TV show of Loki. Like, Loki's heroic death at the end of, Infinity War. Infinity War. Like, you can't just say it's not, like, you could just be like, right now the story is taking place in a world, in a part of the world that is not impacted by what's going on. And they could have done that with a lot of things, but they didn't. They could have, if they just create a banner called, like, Marvel Spotlight, right? This is a story in the Marvel universe that has very little impact on the major story. Kind of like how the Bad Batch in Star Wars has very little impact on the major Star Wars universe. Okay. Mandalorian has very little impact on the major Star Wars universe. There's references to other things that are happening. There are people from other parts of it. But, like, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter where these came from, where they go. Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Like, none of that mattered. It's the same. Yeah. I don't care. Like, you gave us WandaVision to set up Doctor Strange. It did a poor job of setting up Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange did a poor job of paying it off as well as itself. So, get fucked, stay fucked. Loki did a decent job of setting up the multiverse saga, the first Loki did. And the second season kind of was like, What If was great, because it introduced us.
Season, it just wasn't, there wasn't, like, anything that was majorly paid off except for Loki itself.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be a bigger picture thing. It wasn't.
A description from the Daredevil Born Again teaser shown today. Iconic Daredevil suit while narrating the whole system is against you in New York. At the end of the trailer, brief action sequence, Murdoch is asked, what kind of lawyer are you? A really good one, he quips, as he puts on a broken pair of familiar glasses. They did a fantastic job recreating the visual style of the Netflix show. It looks like they could be season 4 with that regard. We get some dialogue of how people keep disappearing in New York and no one seems to care. Matt talks about how the legal system is David versus Goliath. Matt seems to have a variety of costumes, or at least masks, in one shot. Frank doesn't seem to recognize Matt as he starts attacking him with a hatchet in a rage until Matt tells him who he is. There's a quick shot of White Tiger suiting up. Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! I didn't even know. Now I'm super fucking excited.
Who's playing White Tiger, though? By the way, I got a couple comments that I need to catch up on for Daredevil too.
Are we getting? No, you don't. There's only one comic you ever need to read for Daredevil, and that's Shadowland.
Oh, there was like one more I think I wanted to read.
You're wrong. You don't have to read it.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should have said that I want to read it then. Is that better?
Yeah, it's fine. Hector Ayala. So they're doing Dude White Tiger? Fine.
Hey, that will make a certain group happy, wouldn't it? They're gender swapping the other way.
No, the original White Tiger was a dude. His daughter took over.
No, but I'm saying though, like predominantly people know or want the female version. You'll be happy that it's going the male direction. I obviously don't care. I'm kind of trolling.
Here's Dude White Tiger. Trolling. Yeah. Ava Ayala, his daughter, is the most recent incarnation.
I understand. I'm trolling.
And most importantly, I hear you, but titties.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yes.
I really want to. I was already kind of excited for Daredevil Born Again, and then I heard that they kept like going into production hell because whoever wrote it probably sucked.
Yeah, so, I think that they had to like revamp the whole damn thing because it was.
They did half of a season and then they fired fucking everybody.
Yeah.
Frank Miller's Daredevil. There's one with Mysterio. I'm trying to remember the Daredevil run that had Mysterio as the bad guy.
To be clear, I've already read like quite a few of them already, so it's not a matter of like starting from scratch. It's just a matter of okay, which direction.
Just looked up at my Daredevil pops that are on the wall. Hey, Daredevil. Okay, what else we got? The leader will be done as practically as possible with an absence of digital stuff. Hey,
I mean, the leader's hard to pull off, though. I think CGI wise, that's a tough
big
one
ass
to pull
head.
Off.
Big ass head. That's all the leader is. Big ass head.
But look at MODOK.
How dare you?
That's all I'm saying.
How dare you? You brought him back. You summoned him.
I'm just saying. You make it sound easy until you watch Quantum.
Daredevil Born Again will be 9 episodes long. They said it was
what?
18.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
They divided the 18 episodes into 2 seasons. Oh, cool.
As long as the 2 seasons. No, I don't have a problem with it as long as the 2 seasons are kind of back to back. That's all I'm saying.
If they're within 6 months of each other, I'm fine with it.
They got to be back to back. They got to be like, oh, okay. Remember what we did about 3 to 6 months ago?
I found the comment. The plan. Someone said, I'm pretty sure that was always the plan. The plan was definitely not to greenlight an 18-episode legal procedural, shoot half of it, fire everyone involved when you realize it's trash, go back to the writing and production board with a brand new team, hit a writing strike, and shoot an entirely new TV show while splicing in whatever footage you originally had that's salvageable. Correct. Yeah. Correct. I don't think that was the plan.
Good job.
Yeah, that was not the plan. You're wrong. Ironheart releases on Disney Plus in 2025.
Okay. I thought that they were scrapping that one.
I thought they were too.
Yeah, I thought it was scrapping that one.
Well, it might have been cheaper to keep her.
Yeah, well, they probably were too far along in production. Right?
Haven't even started filming.
I thought they already filmed.
No, they hadn't even started it.
So when did they finish it?
I don't know. I've seen Secret Invasion.
If it's coming out in 2025, when the hell did they finish filming? It would have to be done filming by now.
I'll say it. I hate Marvel Comics Ironheart. She is the worst character. Riri Williams should die. I love MCU Ironheart. She's phenomenal. Protect her. So that's the separation. Riri Williams is the worst character that has ever been created. She is a villain in the comics. She is a villain that we're being told is a hero, as she's constantly acting like a villain. Not like Tony Stark being an asshole. Amadeus Cho's awesome. You shut your mouth. He was a shitty Hulk, but he's an awesome fucking character. Amadeus Cho was great. How dare you? How dare you, TLC? Amadeus Cho was awesome. He was the Hulk's guy in a chair. I love Amadeus Cho. When they're like, you could be a Hulk now. Fuck off. Every time you just Hulk somebody out, I'm like, oh man, all of Steve's friends are gonna have super soldier serum too. Like, great. Daredevil Born Again logo looks great. Live action Spider-Man noir series for Prime Video starring Nicolas Cage. I'm in, because Nicolas Cage. Nothing else matters.
That's it.
Lenore Zan confirmed she's done recording her. Rogue's voice actress is confirmed she's done recording her lines for season 2. Season 2 is already done, so they're just doing the voice acting, which means the footage is done. So I don't know if you know this about voice acting. They don't there's two different ways. There's times it's based on time. There's you record your voice and you give the voice the way you want it to be said. And then they animate to the voice. And then there's times like Godzilla, where when you talk, your mouth is doing things that you're not actually, like a lot of voice actors are shown what the animation is because the lines are already animated or like boxed and they do it in. So we know season 2 was kind of in the bag. So her confirming her voice is done, I'm more on the side of they've already started like principal animations on it, and they're just going to do like little touch-ups if she's choosing to change a line here or there. But they do all the reads first. They make sure if they have an idea or something, they get it out, they change it. Yeah. I know it also is hinted at, but unfortunately Dakin is not in the film. He most likely never was, and I doubt they would have added him recently in case of unreliable information slipping down the pipeline. Okay. Marvel is developing a blonde Phantom. I don't know who that is or care. X-Men 97 has been nominated to something that doesn't matter. Aubrey Plaza confirms her character Rio Vidal is a witch. I'd be dressed as a warrior witch with a dagger. Okay. Surprise, there's a witch in the Agatha Witch Show.
What?
Crazy. Original plans for Daredevil Born Again were heartbreaking, says Charlie Cox. I trust that man implicitly, whatever he wants to do. John Watts gives advice to whoever's directing Spider-Man 4. Doesn't look good when someone is just swinging on a rope. You think you're just going to go in there, you're like, we're going to do it all practical. It's boring, it looks dumb. Alright, that's nice. New set pics of Geraldine Viswanathan? That's a dope-ass name. Viswanathan?
Bro.
On the set
I'm
of
Thunderbolts. I'm
been
trying to say that name.
Alright, who the fuck is... Does her proportions look off? Just a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, does she look like a child wearing an adult's suit?
It does look a little off. Now, I am feeling the Crocs.
The Crocs rock. I
respect that personally.
All right. Blame the Crocs. All right. What are the comments? Also, who the fuck is she supposed to play? Who is this? I'm assuming the Crocs is beside the scenes pick, not a character pick. She's playing Val Assistant. I'm waiting for the cop to be like, no, Crocs are important. Or maybe the character wears Crocs in the movie, not out of the realm of possibility. I know Carol kicks them on in her spaceship in the Marvels. We can't blame them. These shits are badass.
Listen, I'm telling you, the Crocs are
we
important.
We used to get real mean on Crocs for a long time, and then I bought a pair, and I was like, oh, I'm never having any other shoes. These are amazing.
I mean,
these are the best shoes in the world.
Crocs
if you don't own a pair of Crocs, you're fucking wrong. Imagine if you will, a pair of shoes that you never need to wear socks for and can go anywhere. No one will stop you. They're amazing. George Miller, director of the Mad Max saga, says he would be open to directing Thor 5. Well, what I've heard about George Miller is that he is impossible to work with, and he treats women like shit on the set. And that is something that every woman, Charlize Theron, and even the most recent Anya Taylor-Joy has said. So when every woman is like, yeah, it sucks to work on these films, maybe
we should all go off of that. Okay.
In Fantastic Four, Galactus comes to Earth in search of Franklin Richards. We better not have a Franklin fucking Richards already. You can't just look.
They said that their kids are in the movie, so I'm like trying to figure out exactly how that works in the Fantastic Four film.
Franklin will be born in space, and filming will be what?
I'm sorry. Let's go through.
Can we get some toast? Is the leaker that Marvel is trying to expose for unauthorized leaks such as this? Okay. Marvel subpoenas Instagram to expose Can We Get Some Toast over leaked Brave New World footage. There is leaked Brave New World footage. Toast, okay.
So basically what they're saying is that the information is correct. We just didn't want it out. Is that what I'm gathering from that?
Feige, after bringing CWTT, and everyone is just gonna start chopping off fucking heads. Execute Order 66. RPK is saying Ryan Coogler will be directing the execution. I'm not clicking on Torrent Freak live on this stream. I'm not doing that.
Wise decision.
Blake Lively is not playing Lady Deadpool.
That's sad. That's disappointing. A little bit. I like Blake Lively.
I heard she was.
In general, I like their relationship, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively.
Bo DeMeo says that Deadpool was off limits for X-Men 97. All right, I trust you, Bo. Whatever you say is golden. Man, I'm telling you. He better have murdered people. And not even like regular murder. He better have like ritualistically sacrificed people to get fired. Or else you bring that motherfucker back. Sean Levy says he signed up to direct Deadpool and Wolverine after deeply regretting to saying no to the Wolverine back in 2010. Bo DeMeo recommends watching the second season finale of the anime series for X-Men 10, The Final Decision. So...
That's old.
But that was the Kang episode. The one that set up Kang.
Oh, the one with like the...
Immortus.
Yeah, but what was it? What did he say that his name was in that series? It was a crazy guy, right?
He played like the janitor or something. I don't remember his name, but he was like the space janitor or something. But he was Immortus. Atlanta filming shows new pictures of Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Don't give a shit. Merch the stunt team of Venom: The Last Dance was given, but there's 3 green slashes. Green slashes. All right. The main villain being yet another symbiote skin alt is kind of the perfect way to sum up Sony's approach to these Spider-Man movies. Just hoping Kraven is the final turd in the wind. There were some weeks where Lasher was actually on Venom's side. Lasher is bonded to Juno Temple's character, and the two symbiotes are desperately horny for each other. Meanwhile, they're chased by some other fucking people. Think Toxin will be involved. Kind of has to be. Toxin was teased at the end of Venom 2. You want to use a female symbiote, and you gender bent Lasher instead of using Scream. Why is Sony so stupid? I mean, it doesn't matter. The symbiotes generally are not inherently the same gender as the people they are. Like Carnage's symbiote is a girl. Um, especially since Scream is like the 5th most popular symbiote. Correct, she is. Was even in the Spider-Man 2 game. Oh yeah, she was as MJ. Spoilers, that game was not great. They just greenlit live action Spider-Gwen, so no. Fuck yeah, live action Spider-Gwen. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Sony is making a live action Spider-Gwen? Oh no! Panic!
Yeah.
Panic, everyone!
Yeah, it's gonna be a no for me.
All right, and now we're on to the last week's stuff, which is kind of already covered.
That's
Janelle Monáe had talks with Marvel Studios for an X-Men role. Okay, I missed that one.
Storm. #Storm.
I want Emma Stone as Spider-Gwen. I don't want Sony touching Spider-Gwen. I don't want them anywhere near it. I love Spider-Gwen. Sony has no business touching characters that are good. They can stick with ruining characters that very few people care about. And Venom.
I agree.
Again, I'm going to see the comments on the Fantastic Four because I'm not quite over this one yet. Even when Marvel's trying to sue him, they're still going. Trying to strike a chord and probably. Oh. Now I'm imagining Drake as Galactus. Jesus Christ. By the way, thoughts?
I mean,
thoughts on Drake and Kendrick?
So I haven't been paying much attention to it, to be honest with you. I'm more like on the outskirts, listening to what other people are saying. I just feel like if I'm Drake, this is not a battle that I want to take on personally. It's like a punch up.
So
and I don't feel like this was the wisest decision, and someone should have been there to say, "Hey, maybe you should."
Do you remember when MGK called out Eminem, and Eminem kicked him into another genre of music?
Yeah.
Do you remember when MGK was like, "I'm gonna rap," and Eminem said, "Try again"? And then he's like, "It's time." And I love MGK's fucking like pop rock. I fucking dig it. Yeah. Drake is a better artist. Kendrick is a better rapper. So I'm taking on this. Drake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Drake makes fat women go crazy. And Kendrick can sing. And that's kind like Drake's first album was Forever, and he was his first single was Forever, and he was the worst person on his first single. It was Drake, Kanye, Lil Wayne, and M. And it was like it was not like, I forgot it was a Drake song because everyone else brought it and that dude was just there. So but don't get me wrong, Drake's on. I'm not going to turn it off. Drake's fine. Drake's fine. But Drake's fan base is like fat women. And Kendrick's fan base is everybody. So you're already punching above your weight class. I'm way too white for this conversation. No, interestingly enough, you're not. Because Josh Johnson actually has an entire thing on it where he's like, I'm not allowed to talk about this, man. Kendrick takes too long to put out music. Yes. And Drake takes no time to put out music.
Yeah.
Every time Kendrick comes out with something, it's the best thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, basically.
And again, that's just my personal opinion on liking Kendrick versus Drake. That's just a personal opinion. If you want to talk about what's happening, to leave this on there, Drake is going to learn how to play guitar real fucking soon. Kendrick. Drake dropped a fucking track, and 20 minutes later, Kendrick threw him in a body bag. Like, I don't have time for that, man.
Yeah.
I don't.
Like I said, it's a punch up. Kind of hard for
Drake. It's gonna be hard, man. I don't know why you chose Kendrick.
Yeah,
there were plenty of
people.
Dude. There were plenty of people Drake could have called out that were in his weight class, like Dora the Explorer, totally reasonable. I'm thinking, whoever that girl on TikTok is, that were in the dance where she slides and drops her glasses. That chick, Drake could probably take her out. Kendrick did lose some points for fact checking fake news. What's fake news? Drake's a pedophile? That's absolutely not fake news. That's real. That's real talk. Yeah, absolutely is. Drake's a groomer piece of shit? Absolutely. Drake has a room in Diddy's house? Jake's secret daughter? Yeah, well. I don't know about that.
Well,
although I will say one of my favorite stories, my favorite Drake stories to end this on, is how he used to pour hot sauce in condoms.
What?
When he was done, he would pour a packet of hot sauce in his condom before he threw it out.
Okay.
And women have tried to sue him. So I want you to think about what would have to happen for Drake being done pouring hot sauce in a condom and throwing it out for a woman to sue him.
Yeah, I'm imagining. Sucks for her. Also, kind of smart on his choice.
That's it. We're done.
That's it, guys.
We got nothing else. I'm leaving this on Old Man Sinister, though.
So we'll final wrap up. X-Men 97 was good. Looking forward to the next season. We're
X-Men 97 season 2, probably going to be some hybrid of Age of Apocalypse and Onslaught because they seem to be speed running it.
Yep.
And it's probably going to be both simultaneously. I don't know how.
Yep.
But hopefully they kind of they take the entire season to tell the story instead of next week topic so I can prepare. What is next week's topic? We're probably going to have to dig deep.
Yeah.
We're probably going to have to start reading comics again. We're going to have to, there's not much going on for the 2 weeks, right? Like we have Deadpool is 26th of July or June.
July.
Oh man, that's 2 months out.
Yeah.
So we got some stuff. I mean, we didn't have anything to talk about today. We talked about X-Men kinda for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah.
We'll here's what we'll do. Here's what I'll do. I won't say we. I'll prepare a decent AOA conversation. I'll prepare a decent AOA and maybe even a little bit of like Clan Ascani. And with anything that comes out, we'll cover it. But right now, it looks like the only things that are big in the comic book universe is we got Venom, we got Deadpool, and we're getting a little bit more on some DC stuff that's coming out, and Superman being the first part of that. So we're gonna start. We are gonna focus a little bit on DC. It's just there's nothing really to talk about. There's like once a week, someone mentions something about you know what I just realized?
Yeah.
Superman, that's it. I just realized that like I watch religiously episodes of Harley Quinn when they come out on HBO Max or Max or whatever it's called now. Nobody's doing content on that. Dude, it's so crazy how like it's like 8-1 in terms of like Marvel content versus DC content. And that's why Warner Brothers sucks, man. They just don't know what they're doing. They just can't make anything work. I don't know. That's it for me. We're going to say goodbye to Twitch. We're going to say goodbye to Kick and our 1 or 2 viewers who hang out there. We love you, Kick. One day. I know it's weird to see 2 people streaming on Kick that aren't committing crimes actively, but you know, sometimes that happens. And then to anyone watching on YouTube, why did you make it this far? It's YouTube. Go away.
It's impressive. It's really impressive.
Yeah, you've seen this picture, I promise. This is why you got in. So have a good night, everybody.
Hi, Joe.